from the Home Depot. You give me a call. I'll take care of it, right? I'm like, all right, cool. Cousin Vinny came and helped me out.
Cousin Vinny
Walking
comes
to
in
you.
clutch. Then he had a coffee.
Yeah, we had a chai.
Oh, that's right.
Bombay chai is now my favorite tea.
It's pretty good.
I found out at the hotel about it.
Ooh.
They had it in the, they have the drinks and everything in the fridge, and they have so they have this giant candy, beer, and soda center in our room.
Ooh.
And you can have as many of the items you want, and they keep replenishing it. They have M&Ms, bag of chips, beer, drinks. Tea,
Why would you leave?
coffee, and the premium stuff too, not some PC choice or random, like Walmart.
Yeah, I don't have
special.
President's Choice.
Yeah, it's like legit high end stuff all there in your room. So my kids went to town. My youngest one thought he was Kevin from Home Alone. Kept ordering Sundays.
Oh yeah.
He kept ordering Sundays to the room, and they'll come in. Hello, sir. Yeah, here's your Sunday you ordered. And I'm like, would you stop doing that? Yeah, there it is. I mean, look at it. Oh, look at you get all a handful of that goodness.
Getting all handsy.
I see you got the nut flavor. That's awesome.
I think the peanut flavors are better than the regular.
They are.
Okay,
People
no.
will fight you on that.
The best flavor, pretzel.
No
Yeah.
way. No,
They don't really make. They're hard to find now. But like,
is it a
when
green
they came
bag?
out, I don't know. It's
Well,
just
the brown
M&Ms
like chocolate,
with a
the
little
yellow
pretzel
one peanut.
chunk in it.
Mm-hmm.
And
So the green is probably pretzel.
Maybe you get this. You get the sweet, the chocolates, the candy outside, and you get the salty and crunchy inside. Oh, and the texture.
I can see how that's appealing. That's
it's perfect.
You could probably find that in Vegas at the M&M store in Vegas.
Oh
yeah, I'll just fucking go to Vegas.
No, I'm just saying, they have a giant M&M 4 stories M&M store that I've been to.
That's why I'm going to Vegas.
Yeah,
I feel like some M&Ms. Oh,
I better get it.
Let's go to Vegas.
I'm booking a ticket, boys.
They also have them in
Number
London.
one thing I want to see in Vegas.
Yeah.
In London, they also have same thing in an M&M store.
I'll do a round trip.
Yeah, you got to hit all the M&M stores in the world.
Yeah.
It's a pilgrimage.
Oh man. Anyway, speaking of pilgrimages, we had a little bit of a sad story today in the bad bed. I'm gonna start with the bad.
A little bit.
We had
okay. Well, I was trying to downplay it.
I was balling.
Anyway, spoilers to anybody that is watching. We're gonna spoil.
Omega dies.
We're gonna spoil. You know what about the Bad Batch and the Mando? So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Come back, check out our review on it.
What the fuck are you doing? Where's the ticker?
I had the ticker on. Somebody crossed it off.
Nope.
I had it on. One of you guys pressed it.
I don't even know how to turn it on or off.
Our friend Chris couldn't join us today. He had a bit of a minor emergency. But he had to take a family member to the hospital just for a routine checkup. Without getting into specifics, which I don't think he wants me to get into specifics. He's okay. Everybody's okay, he told me, but he just wouldn't be able to show up today on the show.
Can you call in from the podcast there?
Can you do it on the phone?
I'm kidding.
You know they have Wi-Fi, right, Chris?
Yeah, Chris, come on.
It's free.
It is. Probably better than mine.
Grab a chocolate pudding from the fridge and start talking to us. Anyways, but he said he will join us next week. All right, Bad Batch. The last two episodes of the show.
Yeah.
The season finale. I'm going to mush them together because it was a blur. It was a blur for me. I don't even know where.
They literally were like, oh, this doesn't look good. Credits. And it was just like, okay, this is another part 1, part 2 kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was good.
Let's talk about the first part. Who wants to start? Anybody?
Oh, gosh. How does the
anybody
first one
remember
begin again?
The first part?
Yeah, so they're like decrypting the information. Yes, hi Dio. I know you want to say hello to your fans.
His only fans.
Leave it. It's like, yeah, I'll show you my butthole. You can see it $5.99 a month.
I wouldn't doubt it if there's people doing that with their pets.
Gonna do that.
Nathan's like, I'm out. Nathan, you got a lizard?
I got a lizard, but you know.
Yeah, you
He's,
want to see me shed in 4K, baby?
Well, he is shedding right now, but I'm not gonna.
Ooh.
He's
Yo, you
sleeping.
save that, put it in a bottle, sell it for $400.
Oh,
That
pop.
is so gross.
Somebody will buy it. Somebody will buy it.
I'm sure someone would.
Somebody's gonna buy it. So
I'm
Echo
pretty sure-
shows up.
I'm
Echo
pretty
comes
sure
out, right?
lizard skin is a euphemism for something.
Anyways, back to the
Sounds
show.
like a band name.
Our boy Echo shows up, right?
Yep.
To lend
Echo.
a hand. Wanda Sykes says bye. I thought Wanda Sykes gonna make out with Tech.
Well, I thought that too.
So did I. I was like, our boy's gonna get
Ah,
second
smokes.
I was like, where did this come from? And then because I was expecting it, and then it didn't happen. I thought, okay,
base. Yeah.
good, because it shouldn't have happened. But why? Why include that weird, awkward tension?
Wanda needed a good send off.
She did. Well, she kept calling him Brown Eyes. She's been hitting on him the whole season.
But isn't his
So-
eyes yellow?
No, that's just the tint of his glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe
never
when
takes off.
she learns that he died, she'll be all upset, and they've set it up now. Oh, she liked him the whole time.
Yeah. Okay, so like this whole episode, I was like, man, this season is like, oh.
Rest in peace. Well, they put it up like a memorial, right? We're talking about him. He just puts up the giant poster.
New season, January 4th. Do you like this guy? Well, fucking
Yeah.
too bad.
I'll be honest.
Enjoy what you can. I
I
still
grew to
believe.
like him.
I still believe he's still out there.
Maybe
He's in
he's
the
alive.
jungle. He's in the jungle. He's put on hunter's paint, right?
he becomes Rambo.
He's got Wrecker skull helmet, right?
He sheds his Asperger's.
Yeah.
And-
He's got
and-
Echo screwdriver that he pulls
Yep.
out.
Fixes that horrible haircut.
Yeah.
Fixes that.
yeah. It's just
Yeah.
he turns it into a mohawk.
I want
Yeah.
to see this. I want to see this guy roughing it out in the jungle.
Just jacked as fuck.
Oh yeah, he's just like juicing it up, right? He's
I've
got
been
like
eating nothing but wild boars.
his arms are like the size of cassava melons. Just cranked it out, right?
Yeah.
I would love it. I would love it.
In all
He's got-
seriousness, do you actually want him back? Do you hope
Yeah,
that he's actually
of course.
alive?
I like him. I like him a lot. He's so odd and unique.
What about you, Justin?
Yeah, I like him. I think we called it because we were like, man, this season is like all about Tech, and then we were like, oh, he probably dies.
Yeah, it was all about Tech. If you look back on so many of the episodes,
yeah.
they really
Yeah.
hyped him up, right? And I guess they had to hype him up because then the death, if you want to call it that, because we didn't see him officially die, right?
Yeah.
And you know what happens when
And
people
it-
fall off things. in
Yeah,
Star
I was
Wars.
gonna say he's in Star Wars and he fell from a tall height. He's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
He caught something and clanged on, so he's good.
Yeah,
Um.
I used
But-
one of my 40 grappling hooks that I forgot I had.
Yeah. Right. He's got a whole bunch of tech on him. He must have parachutes somewhere.
Yeah, his name's Tech. Yeah,
I
yeah.
was gonna
Go,
say
go,
you said
Gadget,
that.
save
That was
me.
a pun. No, that's Echo.
Ah. But oh, shout out to Darth Gutierrez. I hope you are securing the museum, sir. If you are, a good and safe night to you.
Night at the museum.
Yes, he is
Say hi
our
to Ben
knight.
Stiller.
He is our knight of the museum.
Or Ben Stiller, yeah.
Mhm.
Ben Stiller's gotten so old. I get it. It's been a while now.
Yeah,
yeah,
we
he's
all
looking
get
at him.
old, Nathan.
I know, but you look at
Wait
him
till
now.
you
and
get
it
to your
looks-
50s, okay, buddy?
No, but is he in his 50s? I don't believe.
He's
Yeah.
probably older than that.
Yeah, I
Probably-
think he
Probably
must be older.
55 something.
He's 57. Yeah.
Is he
There you
re-
go.
okay? I respect him. I like him a lot. He has not aged well.
He's not
What do you mean?
He's not aged well.
What
I've
do you-
seen
what-
some. I've seen some photos of him, and some like live videos. You know, unedited photos.
Hmm.
I thought that he was in his mid to late 60s. Maybe
Ooh.
probably late 60s. I thought.
Well, when you work in Hollywood, you're gonna age. real
Oh, yeah.
fast.
I'm not criticizing. I love the guy.
Yeah.
That's just an aspect of life. It's just
Blue
that
steel,
surprises
buddy,
me.
blue steel.
Speaking
Yeah.
of Blue Steel, he looks like hold on.
I like how we just went. To
He
the
looks like an accountant now.
Yeah, he does. That's a nice photo of him, though.
That is.
That is on the nicer end.
And like that, he's getting some like Silver Fox vibes.
The video I saw, he looked a lot
looks
more.
like his dad.
No, you know who
wrinkly.
he looks like there? David
Who?
Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Not with the glasses, but without.
He's got some Hasselhoff vibes there.
Yeah, he does.
Yep.
He does.
Okay.
How
We're
did we
not at the
get to-
Cantina bar just yet, guys.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's a
Let's
mini
get back
segment.
into the fold here. All right. So the mission is to go and find a crosshair because he sent out the signal. Was it 88 he sent? Or 99?
No. 99. Plan 99 is the kill myself to save the rest.
Oh.
Obviously, because that's what happened. But
they didn't go looking for him right away. In order to
No.
find him, they had to
find where he
speak to.
was.
Yeah. And what's his name? It's a plant, isn't it? Hawthorne? No.
No,
Is it
Hemlock.
Hawthorne? Hemlock. That's it.
Yeah.
Hemlock. The
Also, it's currently the meta gun in Call of Duty right now.
And I find it funny too. He says he's experimented with poisons, and his name's also Hemlock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely oh yeah, my name is Smith. What do you do? I make swords. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
A little medieval there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Crosshair is basically been poisoned. He's strapped down. And I
Oh,
really
wait.
sorry, go ahead.
Well, we don't see that to the end.
Yeah, that's the second one. The very end of the second.
The second episode.
Oh, is it?
So
okay.
so they need to go to this tower, and they're having this meeting of important imperial officials. And they're like, well, he's going to be here. We know he's going to be here. We're going to put a tracking beacon on his ship. And then there was a bunch of cameos in this episode or these two episodes. So they're like, we got to go infiltrate this place. There's no backup. It's just us. We're going to sneak in there. And then they get on the tram. They do a thing. They do some like heisty stuff. Then they get in there and they're sneaking around. And then they start noticing, they're like, oh, weird. Some of the cameras are deactivated in this hallway. They shouldn't be like that. That seems weird. I loved this part. They have done this thing in a couple episodes where they're like, we got to go in and do a thing. And then the episode ends and they're like, it fucked up and we didn't get anything out of it. Oh, well. Buh. And then they go back and fight another day. This one, they're like, okay, we're going to go in here and do this thing. And they're like, what's this? So they start, and half of them split up and they go down the hallway and they're like, we got to see why these cameras are turned off down this hallway. And then the other two are like, okay, we'll go put on the tracker. They put on the tracker. Then they go to the meeting, and Hemlock is talking with Tarkin, and also Krennic is there from Rogue One, and I didn't check the credits, but either they had a real sound alike, but I mean the actor who plays Krennic isn't a super big name. I remember him from like a couple Netflix things where he played this weird. It was a weird movie. Anyway, it's some guy. Anyway, so he probably voiced him again. But Krennic was there, Tarkin was there, and then they're just planning all this stuff. And then they find out. Oh no! They look down the hallway and they're like, "What the fuck is over here?" And they start looking through things, and then they see this like explosive charge planted, and they're like, "Well, fuck! Why is this here?"
Was this
like,
well,
yeah? Did you know? And then they're like, well, they'll need a lot more to, this won't do anything. This won't take the whole place down. And then some stormtrooper comes around and goes, well, good thing we brought more. Good thing we brought more because you are lost.
When he said his name, oh, obviously, go ahead. Who was it? under the helmet.
Saw Gerrera.
Saw Gerrera.
I was like, what?
They've met him before.
Oh
It was
wait,
just weird.
oh never mind. I forgot. You have everyone here's watched Rogue One. Yeah, we've
Yeah.
discussed that before,
Mm.
and we've seen him before
Look
in
at
Andor. I'll be honest. I was a tiny bit disappointed it was him. I don't think it hurt the story at all. I just thought, could this be like Obi-Wan or something? I know we don't need to bring in someone, a big Star Wars star. It's great to flush out the other characters, especially characters that are smaller that are important to the rebellion. But part of me was thinking, is this going to be just like a cameo that works well with the story? That is someone that I love, someone that is capable of sneaking around a base that we've seen do that before. And it's okay that it wasn't. No problem.
Yeah, it caught me off guard, but it was all right. I mean,
Yeah.
what are we expecting here, right?
I have an argument for the opposite of it was such a good idea. Because this is the first time that we've seen Saw Gerrera do something that fucks up the good guys. Because like we've only seen him like do bombing raids and like get people killed and be kind of careless with the lives of people in the rebellion, but he's doing it for the greater good and whatever. But they're like, hey, you're gonna blow this up, and he's like, yup. And he's like, okay, well, we need to go and if this guy doesn't leave, like we need to track a ship so we can find this prison and do this and this. And he's just like, fuck you, I'm doing it anyway. And they're like, no. And then he does it anyway, fucks it all up. They don't get the ship. I thought they were going to steal the ship that they put the tracker on. And then they're going to like go to their home base. They're going to be like, oh my God, they're right below our toes. And then they go there and it's Saw Gerrera again. And then they went, you motherfucker, you stole his ship. But it just turned up, they blew it up. But yeah, this is like I thought this was great development for Saw, because like he's always been like this martyr, this, altruistic freedom fighter. And we hear a lot about how he's careless and reckless and he's a liability and stuff. And I thought this was a great example of just like, we have this mission. It's super important. We need to rescue these people. He's like, fuck you. I already planted the bombs. I'm doing it. And like how he doesn't work well with others, like even presented with, you can do it later. And he's just like, I'm here. Fuck you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with that at all. I do think that his character needed a bit more development. He's so interesting, and so I wouldn't even say that he's like super important. I feel like he's just one of those well-known but doesn't have a gigantic impact in the general scheme of things. But he is quite interesting, and love that they did include this in the plot. I love that little mystery behind what is this doing here? Why is everything shut down? The system's being recycled many times today. Why is that?
That was cool.
I like that mystery. In the back of my head, I think I was just hoping for someone else, but maybe I wanted Obi-Wan because I think he needs a bit of redemption right now.
You're not.
Does the timeline line up though?
At this stage, I believe he's still kind of in denial, though. Like he's kind of hiding.
Yeah.
Force.
He would be on Tatooine at this point.
Yeah, because I don't see what would his like. He's in hiding. Why would he want to risk that by coming out and trying to?
Explain? Oh, he wouldn't, because at this stage, this is still too early for him.
Yeah.
Before he's kind of reconnected with the Force, so he's either just been on Tatooine for the last little while. He's not completely downtrodden, or he is downtrodden. He's not. He hasn't been reconnected yet, and it's fine that they didn't have him in. I was just kind of hoping for it.
Fair enough. What else can we take away from this episode?
One more thing. Have you guys seen the movie Kingsman, the second one?
Yes.
Did you guys think of that movie at all when they were on the gondola?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it's like identical.
That's right.
Or nearly.
Huh.
There's a snowy base up in the mountain. You have to take a hijack somehow a gondola to get up to the end. There's big explosions at it, and the base gets blown up. And
I
on your way
forgot about
back,
that.
there's issues
There-
with the gondola.
There were some good explosions in Star Wars today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
was-
one thing I really liked about specifically the 2 episodes from the Bad Batch, their use of the explosions and the music was fantastic. They knew
Yeah.
when to cue up the music to
Yeah.
heighten moments, and
Yeah.
when you cut the music, you let what the action happen.
Yeah.
And by action, I just mean like just that raw emotion that's happening, that's going through you as the viewer.
Yeah.
But it
I
was
agree with you.
fantastic.
Yeah,
It
I agree
was
with you.
subtle, and like that's, I mean, arguably the point of it. It's always good. Well, most of the time in a movie score or whatever, when you don't notice the music, I think that's when it doesn't take away from the thing that you're watching, and it's
Yes.
just a perfect.
It's not
companion
overpowering.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's obviously some cases where you're just like, man, this song fucking slaps, and you're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it's just
even
like
the
this,
eerie tones that they played,
yeah,
Yeah.
right? Because I started noticing it in the second episode. I'm like, this is like they amped it up. Like you really feel when you're going to a dark corridor or something like that,
Yeah.
right? Like there's when they get captured, like
Mhm.
there's such attention to detail was really good.
The music in this season has been fucking phenomenal, and it's been
way
all
better
over
than the
the
first season.
Oh yeah, I don't even remember the music in the first
Yeah.
one, but like this one, and it's all over the place too. I mean, like genre wise, it's not just like, oh, here's an orchestral thing, here's a
Mhm.
John Williams ripoff, here's another John Williams ripoff. Oh, da, 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 da. It's
Yeah.
like, oh no, this one they're doing like a techno, like technological sounding one, and like here we're getting like a little more string quartet, and then this one we're getting like a little more like they've gone all over the place to fit the setting that each episode has been in.
Mhm.
And yeah, the music in this season has been great.
Yep.
Even in the shitty episodes, like the music is still a banger.
Mhm. Are we scoring both episodes together, or what are we
I
doing
think so,
here?
probably.
Yeah, because they're basically one episode.
Yeah, it
They're
looks
the
like-
finale, part 1, part 2. Yeah.
yeah. We'll give the finale a total score altogether.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about? What else?
Maybe the gondola, the death of Tech.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
want
that
to
was
save
such
that. I
a
want to
big
save that
moment.
to the end.
Okay, we can do
I want
that.
to save that to the end.
Sure.
But is there anything else that we could take away from these 2 episodes?
Well, if we're leaving the death scene to the end, then
Yeah.
we got to talk about when they escape, them getting out with nothing, then them going back to Sid because they get overrun, and the
I
escape
knew this
scene.
was happening. Remember, I told you guys
Yeah.
this.
Oh yeah. Nobody was surprised when she started twiddling her thumbs, and we're like, oh, I wonder how long it takes for a fucking stormtrooper to show up.
Oh man, she did him dirty, man. Like,
I was-
that's- like, I wanted
Yeah.
Hunter to put a bullet on her forehead. Like,
I
just-
wanted what
same.
happened in Tales of the Jedi to happen to her. Like, remember when the Inquisitor was there and there's like the village people, and he was like, oh, that's Ahsoka, she's a Jedi, and he's like, thank you, your service to the Empire will be greatly noted, and just kills him immediately. I wanted that to happen to her, just like, thanks for your service to the Empire.
yeah, that would have
But
been
no,
awesome,
she's
too.
still fucking alive.
Oh man, like I was so mad when she did them that. Like, out of all the things they've done for you, saving your hide, including it,
Mhm.
right, making you loads of money, like basically keeping you afloat, risking their lives for you, and
Yeah.
you did this. Oh
And
man,
setting up her best friend with some like some army dude who's super technologically savvy. I mean, it's not her fault she didn't follow through and like, bang him before he left on his last mission, but she had the option.
I just need Wanda to come back.
Actually, you know what? They're all clones. She can just move on to the next one.
You're all the same.
She'll just
Actually,
get
no,
Hunter
she's
to cut his hair differently.
Remember, Tech is different. They're the Bad Batch. They're the guys that are slightly. They deviated a little bit.
Right.
I
the
want
same.
next season, if there is next season, well, there better be next
Oh
season.
yeah, there is.
There
Go
is.
figure.
But I want Wanda to come back to the bar and just put a bullet in her head.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. This was from my homie Tech. Boom.
And they end kind of. Well, okay. So the end was like, we're gonna go back to Fiji or whatever the fuck.
Cabo.
Dude,
And,
Alvin's like, I miss Cabo
There was
so
a
much.
scene. I kid you not. There's a scene in there. Was it? No, that was the. Yeah, it was.
Was it real life or was it?
No. Was it? I'm trying to see. Was it Mando or was it this show? There was a beach scene overhead.
Are you recalling things from Andor possibly?
No.
Your most favorite show ever?
Look. I took a step down and appreciated Andor a little bit more.
Oh,
Yes.
Have
because of these shows.
Okay. Sure.
So, but anyways, what I was saying was, I just thought like the whole 2 episodes, I thought it was well done. CGI is good, color was good.
Phenomenal.
Sorry,
I said phenomenal. It's the CG. Like I still every time.
Yeah.
I
also one of my favorite parts of both of these 2 episodes was when Hunter was talking to Amiga and saying, I think we've got to put our guns down and just go out in the sunset. And I'm just like, yes, this is what I want for my heroes, right? To have a good ending, to go off and enjoy life. Like,
and they almost did it.
Be a legend in the Star Wars folklore forever and go out, with the, in the sunset and enjoy the drinks, enjoy the life.
Yeah.
We don't get that. We never get that, right? Like
no.
We always get something shitty happens, or they just move on and it's nothing really good happens for them. They're still struggling.
Our boys.
At least they acknowledged it. They're like,
they did.
This is the goal. We do want this now.
Well, and they asked Omega too, and she was like, I do want that. Yeah.
And I was like, this is awesome. Like, this is so cool.
This is the way.
This is the way.
But and then she gets
captured.
Man.
She had out, but she can't,
What do you guys think? Do you like that she decided to stay and fight for them, or do you wish that she just listened?
She's stupid. She should listen.
Yes and no. I thought that too.
Okay.
I was like, she started going down. I was like, okay, she's gonna get out of here. And then I'm like, but they're just gonna hunt her or whatever. And then she was like, no, I can't leave them. And like, I get it, because the whole point of them putting their lives at risk was to rescue a guy who may or may not be setting a trap for them like he has before, but they're like, we can't leave. Part of their clone programming, like that's just that's not an option to leave a man behind. And they had already lost one. They lost Echo, then he got back, so they're like, okay, we got it back. And then they still got Crosshair out there, and then they lost Echo Tech. So then she's just like, no, I'm gonna leave them both. Fuck that. And
but I mean, what is she gonna do by herself? That's the thing. Like, you're outnumbered, and the best thing for you to do is stay in hiding, because they're still looking for you and they still need you. And then when they capture you, you could pose a big threat for everybody.
Sure, but they're just gonna torture and kill the ones that they already have.
Well, the thing is, Echo's still out there, right? So she could have just waited till she found him and then regroup. The fact that she went on a ledge and pulled back her laser arrows and going,
and fucking whiffed. Like, he's walking. That guy never runs. Hemlock has not run once. He's just sauntering, and she's like, and I'm like, at least like get him in the leg or something,
or shoot his head, kill him.
Well, aim for his head.
If she hit him, the clones weren't gonna execute the Bad Batch. They would have just like maybe fired back, maybe tried to stun her. I think they would have been shocked if she just killed him, because then
I would have been happy if they did. She did that.
Well, there's no downside technically for her at that moment. She kills him. They're not going to kill anyone because they've been ordered to capture them. Yeah. So they're not going to kill the clones or her. So
also,
what's the downside? Kill them.
Also, they're a huge plot hole, massive plot hole that I saw.
Okay.
when they were walking out, and the one guy jumps on the rafter and then shoots Omega with a stun.
Yep.
He out loud, as he's in front of those two motherfuckers, says, "Yes, capture her and bring her to the fucking planets or whatever that their secret base is on." He says that out loud in front of them. Okay?
Does he actually?
He does. He says, "Yes, take her and bring her to blah blah blah. These two, take them to wherever the fuck Tarkin wants to interrogate them personally." Then Echo shows up on a fucking ATST, blasts the place. They escape, and then they're like, "Where did they take her?" And it's like, motherfucker, he just said it.
Really? I didn't catch that.
Well, yeah,
Oh.
I think if Alvin and I couldn't catch that, and we were watching it and not in the moment.
The planet that he mentioned was the one that Tarkin was on. That might be the only thing that explained it, but I'm pretty sure he said the planet that their base was on. I'm going to look that up.
Okay, well,
now.
even
Hold
if
on.
he mentions the planet,
But it doesn't matter.
Does everybody in Star Wars know every single planet in the galaxy?
No, but if they know the name, they can find a record somehow.
Yeah, but not all planets are like Camino, for example.
That's true.
In order to find Camino, it turned out it was deep. It was like taken from the Jedi records. You had to go tracking it down. I'm talking about Obi-Wan. Sorry, Obi-Wan.
But you do raise a good, interesting point. Why even mention the name of the planet?
You know what? Now that I mention it, I think it might have been the planet that they originally went to for the heist. Hold on.
But I mean, why even mention it in the first place? Just
because he said like, "Oh, bring her to this place." Oh, Hemlock.
Do you remember the name of the planet, Justin?
That's what I'm looking up right now. Oh no, Eridu. That was the summit that they went to. Okay, never mind.
But yeah,
Lamasu, Mount Tantus is their secret base. He did not mention that. Okay, never mind.
I want to hold off on the last possible second of the show when it ended. I want to go back to Tech and talk about
our boy.
I want to have a little, memorial. Everyone has to do a little eulogy.
Moment of silence.
I think
everyone has to do a eulogy. Say something nice about Tech. I'll go first. I think Tech was a great human being, or a clone. He, over the time, became more personable and likable instead of a robot, and he became closer with Omega. I like the growth that he had this season. What happened?
I know what's happening.
Oh. Is he putting on glasses?
Oh, no, wait. Sorry, I didn't mute myself.
He's changing. Oh, is he changing into something?
No. I know what's happening, and I'm unprepared.
Okay. Anyways, I think Tech's growth, and now I understand why they had a couple of episodes about Tech to really give him a good farewell send off just for the season. I still believe he's alive, but yeah, that moment when he was hanging there, I'm like, as soon as he was hanging, I'm like, this guy's gone.
Yeah,
this dude's gone. That's it.
Yep.
Right, especially when what's his name? The big guy,
Wrecker.
Wrecker's trying to get closer to him to get him, and it just keeps falling. I'm like, all right, he's gonna go. Cool.
Yeah, I like also like, and this is not me making fun of the plot choices or direction choices or animation or anything like that. But I like how it's the biggest guy. They're like, go get him, and he's like, okay, and it's like, motherfucker, he weighs the same as a school, and the 10-year-old, the nimble, stealthy, like rogue, like a 10-year-old who could just jump down, do a backflip, and get him. They're like, no, get the big boy, and then he's like, oh, I'm too big. But the events that unfolded, everything, I was like, yeah, oh, and that's fun, yeah. Oh, and the fighters are coming in again. Oh, they're doing another pass. Yep. And it was just like everything was unfolding, and there was I think it was a really great series of unfortunate events because everything that started happening that they showed you, you're just like, yeah, he's dead. Oh, yeah, he's dead. Oh, there's no way he's not dead. Oh, he's gonna die. And you got to like, you started building it up inside you. You were just like, he's gonna die. He's gonna die. Oh, he's definitely gonna die. But
Yeah,
they
it's,
tried.
I know. I felt it at the moment as well. Like it feels like they're gonna kill him off, but they've done that before in the
Yeah.
season where it kind of felt like that. So maybe it's gonna be another one of those situations. I think they're gonna kill him off, but he might get out of it somehow. Maybe
Mhm.
that the I don't know. Maybe some character's gonna come by randomly and save him. But no, he died and he fell. Sorry, I keep getting all these messages right now. He fell and they did
like
it in such
RIP
a dramatic
messages?
way. No, well, I'll get into that in a moment.
Sorry for your loss.
Where like that
Thumbs up.
super dramatic
Facebook.
moment
Yeah. Thoughts and
of
prayers.
the stormtroopers that were in the gondola that they had stunned or killed. I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Yeah.
Their bodies were just laying motionless on the glass as you
Yeah.
look down through the glass to see Tech dangling there, and it's just
they're
this
just
powerful moment.
floating.
Yeah, they're just floating there, and no
Yeah.
music, no nothing,
None.
and there's pauses. It's not like high, fast action pace. It's just they're taking their time. It's not dragging it out at all. It's just kind of like a real life pace of things.
Well, and not only that too, but like Star Wars has done some fucking garbage death scenes. Like the slow motion falling of the droid in Obi-Wan that nobody gave a fuck about. And they're like, oh no, this guy's dying. And you're like, wait, the loading droid that doesn't speak that nobody cared about? That, oh, the girl that you didn't take any time for character development, and you're like, oh no, this person's dying. And you're like, I don't fucking care. They're like, we're gonna do it for slow motion for 30
Or the
seconds.
pilot.
Who?
Yeah. Don't know. I never even heard of this guy.
But yeah, Nathan, you nailed it on the head there. Like just the silence and letting it sink in, and then the series of unfortunate events that like lets you accept it and acknowledge that it's about to happen, and then it happens, and you're just like, yeah.
And in his memory, I have a little candle, and you can't really see it. It's like the light from it is too much for the camera, but there's a real flame in this candle. Maybe I'll put it somewhere you guys can see.
There.
No, I don't want to leave a flame like behind me. Yeah, I'm not going to leave an open
giant flame growing behind you.
Don't worry,
I'll be able to see it in the camera.
I prepared two things. Wait.
He's gonna mix his drinks.
No, I'm gonna pour one out for my
They're the
homie.
same drink.
Oh,
shut up!
Oh.
I'm pouring one out for my there. Now you can't see it. Now the illusion is broken. Okay, I'm kind of spilling it.
Yeah, rest
and he
in
drinks
peace,
it
Tech.
too.
But I strongly believe he's still alive. I think he's a
and that moment. But that moment after as well, they set that up beautifully. They had that first moment of his death, which was like super sad without making it sappy. It was it's just one of those moments where like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening, and it happens. And then immediately after, things pick up. The things now it's locked in the gondola, it's flying fast, and Omega's now like, where's Tech? We're like, what's happening? Where is he? And she's all upset and panicky. And everyone else is so upset, but they know, they're gonna crash. Wrecker grabs Omega and like flings himself to the ground. Oh gosh, it was so well done, that scene.
Also, the actual logistics of why they couldn't get out, because the other train was pulling it down, so it couldn't catch on the treads. And then the second that it released, it then was able to lift up and get traction. Like that's just such a really cool scenario that it just makes sense. And like it wasn't like, oh, okay, sure, yeah,
it wasn't magic. It wasn't magic.
Yeah, exactly. And it wasn't like there's so many times where it's just like, oh, they sacrificed themselves, and you're like, yeah, it's noble and cool and shit, but like you could have just done this or this or this, but like that was a no-win situation, and they were. The whole time too, it was like, is Tech gonna die, or is just everyone gonna die, or fall, or what? And then like there was that moment of silence, and then it was just like, and go. And it was like,
Yeah.
fuck, okay, shit.
Yeah, and then when it caught on, it just went into that thing, right?
Mhm.
And obviously explosion happened there. I thought when that was happening, when Hunter jumped with
beep, 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 beep.
yeah, fire alarm.
Oh, I
goes
took
on.
that off. Yeah, no, I took it off. It's on the ground now. Because I knew this was gonna happen.
Oh, it's
Sorry,
playing.
Alvin, continue.
I thought when Hunter grabbed Amiga and jumped, I thought that one of the other guys was gonna die too.
Yeah.
I thought
But
maybe
was it Hunter
Wreck-
or Wrecker that grabbed her?
It
Wrecker.
looked like-
I
was
could
it
mix
Wrecker?
it up.
Okay, maybe Wrecker,
I
yeah.
thought it was Wrecker because he's the bigger guy.
Yeah,
you
I thought
know.
maybe maybe Echo was gonna bite the bullet too, right? Or I don't know, maybe another death, but it looked like they kind of survived. I don't know how, because they got flown out of there
Well,
into
like
the
Wrecker
ground.
did nearly break his neck, or did break
Yeah.
Oh
his
yeah,
neck,
he's
or
in a
something
neck
like
brace
that.
the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
This of like a fucking trombone. Or
I
tuba.
loved how they came out of that injured and not just like, oh, we
Yeah.
gotta go. It's like, no, they not only are they badly injured, but they, for one of the few times in Star Wars, I can't remember
Mhm.
any other time, but I'm sure they've done it. They changed the POV, and now it's Omega, and it's right
First
after the
person,
crash,
yeah.
is disorientated, and we have this really intense moment of she's disorientated, but all of a sudden, Wrecker and Hunter are there. They're like, they're injured clearly, but they're like, we gotta
Mhm.
go. And they're getting attacked by stormtroopers. And it's this incredibly intense moment that shows not just like how dangerous this moment is for them, but also Omega is still in some way trying to recover from the death of Tech
And also
immediately after it
silent.
happened. Yeah.
Also, no music for this part too.
Mhm.
It was just like the tinnitus sound and just muffled like heavy breathing and gunshots and just like chaos that's happening, and then she would black out and then come to and then black out, and it was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pose a question to you. This is what kind of bothered me at the end here is why did they go to her rather than that planet where they came from?
Because it's a low tech planet. They've got sushi and fishing rods, but if they want Bacta, they got to
Oh,
go
that's
to
true.
the person who knows a guy or who knows another guy who's got a guy. But if they just go to like,
Yeah.
if they go to fucking Cabo, they'll be like, okay, do you want some vitamin C?
Would you like some Bombay chai?
Yeah, I want some
Hey.
Bombay chai.
It's good chai. It's good chai.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna fix a broken neck.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I would have just went to that planet and just called it quits, right? You have one of your homies die, allegedly.
Yeah, but they didn't want the rest of them to die, so they were just
Yeah.
like, we're in dire straits.
I actually hope Tech is dead. Like he was
What?
becoming my favorite.
How
He was
dare
becoming
you
my
say
favorite.
that?
But because
too, just
of the
story-wise.
story, yeah, I
Yeah.
think story wise, it
No.
builds this huge impact for the group, and Star Wars just
I'm
too
blocking you
often
right
brings
now.
back. Yeah, but if this Star Wars keeps bringing characters back from the dead all
That's
the
what they
time,
do. That's what
I
they
know, but
do.
like it stops there
It
being a big
belittles
impact.
his sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And you're
what
right,
if
I
he
I
love
comes
don't
Tech.
back?
want him to
What if
die.
he comes back with amnesia?
What if he comes back and
No.
he's a bad guy?
What if he's missing his lower body and he's
What if he gets spider legs?
Yeah. What if he gets force sensitive?
What if he
becomes a Jedi?
Yeah, becomes a Jedi, and then they clone him to be Palpatine. Somehow Palpatine returns.
somehow
because of Tech.
Palpatine?
Bum, 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 bum.
No, he's super mangled and disgusting.
He's Rey's
Wait.
father.
No,
No.
he's Snoke,
Oh my
Hey,
god!
I can see
and
that.
he's
I can
so
see that.
mangled. And they said Snoke was a clone.
What if Grogu's Snoke?
You got something there.
A clone of Grogu is
You
just all
got something
deformed.
there. You got something.
All
I
they
like
said
that.
was Snoke was a clone. They didn't say he was a clone of Palpatine.
I love how we go from this really intense moment, Tech's dying, they're grappling with the moment of his demise. We hope, for the story remains that, and we immediately go to, clones of so and so, and Walking
Oh,
with
no.
spider legs.
Echo is actually Jar Jar Binks in disguise.
So
Okay, you got too far now.
Grogu.
He does save Grogu.
Okay.
guy.
Any last things you want to say before we give our scores here about Bad Batch?
Yes, the ending, the end scene.
Oh yeah, that's right. She's
Yeah.
got a Omega.
Oh yes,
She's-
Omega gets.
Okay, so I feel like because she's Kiwi, the girl who, the scientist girl, the doctor. But I feel like she laid it on a bit thick when she said Omega.
Omega.
'Cause, like,
I can't do it.
She it's a faint New Zealand accent whenever the doctor's talking, and I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. And I thought it's interesting the whole time because I was like, huh, another human that is New Zealand. I was like, huh, that's interesting. Okay. Then she just goes, yeah, so yeah, Omega. And I was like, wow, whoa, what the fuck? And then it's her sister. Dun dun
Yes.
dun. So there's another clone. So Boba's got fucking family
Boba's
everywhere.
family's been busy.
Yeah. Django's just like Genghis Khan. He's got fucking kids everywhere.
Yeah.
Something
Wouldn't that
was
be weird?
Something was jangoing at the bottom.
Imagine being Django Fett, and then like after the war, you're Django Fett, and you just see millions of you. Just
Yeah.
everywhere. Some of them have open bakeries. Some of them, it's just such a weird feeling. Because they look at you and they're like, "He's a clone too," and you're like, "No, I'm the original."
No, I'm the
Yeah,
OG. And then they're starting to like argue for like clone rights, and you're just like, yeah, let my copies vote.
Imagine too if Jango Fett survived for it, and then they're fighting for clone rights, and then people think that he's a clone, and so they treat him differently. They
Yeah.
consider him property of the Empire.
Yeah, that'd be a weird. I loved the line in the second season of The Mandalorian when they're trying to sneak into the Imperial base and they're figuring out who's going to go in, and then Boba Fett's just like, yeah, I can't go in there, they might recognize my face.
All right. So she gets captured. They take her
Yep.
to the base, as per the long neck lady's orders.
Lama Su.
Lamasu, there you go. Thank you.
No, it wasn't her orders. It was the prime minister who said, "Yo, bring this kid to her. She's fond of it, because if she ain't gonna work with you, here's the only person that she cares about."
I do like that. Like, and it's not one of those situations where like, oh, Omega's the key to everything because she's got some special thing in her DNA. It's like, no. You are purely blackmail.
Yeah,
For someone more important.
you are
than you.
an extortion piece, and that's
Yeah.
it.
I love
this
that.
one person who knows shit about cloning says that you were cool, so we're gonna bring you to her and like poke her eyeballs out in front of her, so that she does math for us.
It's nice though because it reminds you, and Star Wars is such a big galaxy, and there's so much happening. And even after all that we've seen the Bad Batch go through, it's a reminder you are not the main characters. In this show, you're the main characters, but in the whole galaxy and everything going on, you're not the main characters. You're not actually super important. She's just needed because we're going to use her to blackmail someone else. And
they didn't do she's the chosen one plot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was she's a person of interest, but like, and they hinted at it a bunch where they're like, oh, maybe she's force sensitive, and we were kind of like rolling our eyes at that fact, like, oh god, are they just gonna make her another fucking Rey?
Yeah, what direction were they going at? That's
but literally she's like, nope, you're just here for extortion. And it's like, you know what, good on you guys for keeping it not keeping it real in the sense of whatever the fuck that statement good means. Yeah, it's extortion. Yeah. Thumbs up. But I just mean like it's
keeping it real, Star Wars.
Yeah, but it's just like not every person you point a three-dimensional camera at is going to be the chosen one. So, yeah.
All right, what do we give it out of 10 for both episodes together?
I was going to give it a much lower score until I talked to you guys about it.
Okay.
I came out of the episode kind of underwhelmed as an ending to a series.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I am much more excited about the third season than I didn't even expect a second season.
Oh,
Like I don't
really?
remember what happened in the end
Yeah,
of the
a lot of
last
people
season.
don't. That's a problem.
It was pretty underwhelming. Like there was some
I
cool
think
stuff.
I'll remember this ending more than I'll remember the first one.
Absolutely.
Even if
Yeah.
I watch them all together.
Yeah. I think I want to go and rewatch the first season again. But yeah, like the heist was cool. Echo's death was, or Tech's death was done beautifully. But it was kind of disappointing just because there was little. But I was kind of disappointed because there was no closure in anything. But that's a good selling point for a third season, because now I'm just like, I have so many questions. So now when they go, oh, season 3 is going to come out, and be like, okay, well, I gotta fucking watch that now. So, but yeah, talking with you guys about it made me appreciate a lot of things and notice things that I didn't. So I think I'll give these 2 episodes an 8.
Fair enough. Nathan, what say you?
I'm going to give it a 9.5. I
Ooh.
really enjoyed both episodes together.
Wow. You
Second
sure
episode
sound
more.
like it.
However, I don't think it was like perfect. There's some parts where I was questioning it a bit when Omega decides, no, I'm gonna be the kid and I'm gonna save the day. I'm gonna do good. And
I'm gonna be the Kevin McAllister of this.
Yeah. And at first I was like, oh, you stupid kid. We just had like these 2 super serious, super adult episodes. This is a kid show. We see dead bodies laying on a pane of glass.
Also, you see guys' necks break. Like this is going back to the Clone Wars stuff, where it's just like, oh god, this is a kid show where you see people getting like fucking what's it called, where you just like somebody's on their knees and you shoot them in the back of the head,
like cold-blooded killing.
Yeah, there's a term for that. But anyway, you see guys just get fucking murdered.
Execution.
Thank you.
You execute them.
Yeah, and you see executions, you see neck snaps, you see like it was
brutal.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, you're doing so well, and then this moment reminded me it's a kid show, but it was at least impactful in that I justified it by thinking, okay, she's just lost everyone. Imagine you are in Afghanistan and a bunch of your family members are all of a sudden just like, a couple of them are just killed. They're gone forever, and you're super upset by it. You're a kid, you're having trouble understanding why the Taliban could do this to you. Then the next moment the Taliban breaks down your door and just takes everyone else, and you're left thinking they're probably going to die. I'm never going to see them again. And their family, they mean a lot to me. I'm okay with risking my life to try and save them, because at this point, what
they're
really
already
have
dead.
I got to lose? Yeah, they're already basically dead. So I thought, okay, do you know what? At least that makes sense to me. And her up on the little balcony there also made sense, because she didn't really put up a huge fight. She was a threat to them. She was holding her bow in a threatening way and could have killed them, and she ended up getting captured. That was probably the best way for it to go down, story-wise, in my opinion. And then the only other thing that I was kind of iffy about was the ending. I didn't love the idea where she said, like, I'm your sister. It's a big plot twist. I want to know, but I also am still left with so many questions that I hoped at least they'd answer 1 or 2 of. Like, what's the whole point of the cloning program? Why do they need the cooperation with the remaining Kaminoans? Like, what's going on? And I didn't get any answers to that.
But I think we're gonna get a lot of that, and we'll talk about this real soon. But again, this show was supposed to end before The Mandalorian started.
Yeah.
And The Mandalorian has been dipping into the cloning stuff way more than I fucking expected. So I think a lot of those questions are oddly enough going to be answered, or at least touched on, in The Mandalorian. Because they're I'm astounded with how many chapters of like stories they're opening in the Mandalorian, and then immediately closing the next episode, and then opening 5 more, and then immediately closing the next episode, and then opening 5 more, and you're just like, oh fuck, what's happening? And
Nathan, you haven't given a score yet.
9.5.
I did 9.5. So
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
You
it's high
ranted out
score.
afterwards. I forgot
Yeah.
about the score. Yeah.
Well, I didn't give
9.5.
I didn't give my explanation beforehand because I wanted to
Yeah.
give a justification for my score.
All right. Okay.
And
Well,
yourself?
I think the last 2 episodes were a bit of a downer for me. Episode 3 is going to be the creme de la creme of episodes.
Best episode of it.
And I
like,
really,
yeah.
I'm sad by that, and because they could have ended the season with that level of hype, like to make us think. They could have done that, and I just felt like they were a little bit flat on that. Obviously the most emotional part was having Tech die, and they probably did get a lot of emotion from people as to why he died. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that are a fan of that character. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just, and then the ending is kind of weak too, right?
Yeah.
Like how they just capture with like 5 people. These are like, I know she sold them out to get arrested and things like that. Where the hell is Echo? Like, how does he not know where they are? It's the bar. He should know how to get to it right away.
Well, I'd imagine that he's going to be the prominent focus next season.
How so?
Well, he's the only one who's still out there.
Well, Miga,
So the next
season,
season,
Miga might grow another 5 years right there.
No, but the next season is just going to be
Echo's
Commander
not.
Cody and an Echo, isn't it?
No. Remember, they were all rescued before. All except Omega at the end, and they all got in the ship.
Right.
And they're like, we're gonna find her again, no matter what.
Yeah. So the next season is just going to be some like weird spy espionage stuff.
Yeah. They're all gonna have different
excited.
costumes because Disney's gonna make money.
They'll have some new colors, so you need to
Gonna
buy
meet up
all
with
the
Andor as
figures
well?
again.
Spy.
That'd be
espionage
cool.
Style. I think it's too soon.
Desert
the
camo.
clones aren't
Desert
even
camo.
gone yet.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They need to get rid of the clones.
I'd be down for
army.
desert camo.
Desert camo,
Like
would
the
be
sand
sick.
trooper.
No.
Oh no.
No, it's gonna be
what are they
all
called?
like
Short
spec
troopers.
ops. Oh, the short trooper stuff was cool.
The black and grays camo.
The black and gray camo. So like the shadow troopers,
Yeah,
or the
I
death
like the
troopers.
Death Trooper. Yeah,
but
the
camo
Death
with camo on.
Death troopers.
Yeah. Sorry, I have to give a score. I'm gonna give this a 7.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give
That's what I was feeling when I watched it. But again, talking to you guys put it up a point for me, or a point and a half, whatever I give it.
Yeah, I'd give it a 7.
8? Okay. Now, Elvin, what is your overall score for the season?
That's a good question.
This is going to be the toughest question because it's had ups and downs.
Yeah,
it's had peaks and valleys. There has been the best episode of most animated Star Wars things we've ever seen, and not valleys, not just mediocrity and exceptionalism.
Are you sure about that?
My overall score for this show this season is 7.5. I think it had a bit of everything, like you said. It did have some filler episodes, which I was not. Whenever you have a shortened season, don't give me filler episodes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me.
I'm gonna echo that.
Yeah.
7.5. It's fine. Is it worth a watch? Sure.
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff in it,
but it's not a must see. It's not must.
No.
See.
But I will tell everyone to watch the 3rd episode of Bad Batch season 2.
You have to.
And I'll give that a 10 out of 10. Like that's one of the best things I've seen. I'd give it a 7.5. It's pretty good.
I'm grinning like an idiot. I'm grinning like an idiot.
No, you have your opinions.
even before Elvin said 7.5, I was thinking 7.5. That's what I'm gonna go.
Oh,
So I think this is the first time we've all
all
100%
three
agreed
of
Yeah,
us.
actually, we've
on
never
full
done that.
season. Not just
Oh.
two. Yeah.
Cheers
it's
to us being
all
smarter
three.
every show.
Yeah.
We're getting
There
better
we go.
at this, folks.
We are cohesive.
If all three of us are saying it must be true.
Yes, this is
Yeah.
the way.
Mhm.
IGN gives it a 10, so
Is that actually what they gave the season?
no, I don't fucking read
I want to
IGN.
see. I want to see what IGN and Rotten Tomatoes says.
Oh, IGN, good old IGN. All over the place is what they are. And I
Again,
mean
10
that
out
in
of 10.
scores, not actually traveling all over the place. All right, man. Let's get into dun 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 dun
Oh.
dun dun.
This
Andor.
episode was so much fucking fun.
Well, while you go talk about what they need to do, I'm gonna go and grab my late dinner. So
Okay.
I'll be back in a second here.
Hey, internet.
Tell the people what they've won.
Internet. Do you know what you just won? A wonderful community that you get to be a part of. You know what you can do? You can hang out and talk with us and rant about TV shows that are awesome, mediocre, or garbage, like Willow. And we will never stop beating that dead horse. Actually, no, calling it a horse is being a discredit to horses because horses are useful. You can ride them, you can eat them in some countries, and you can make glue out of them. You know what you can do with Willow? Fuck all. So don't watch it. Listen to us talking about Willow because that's more entertaining than the entirety of the show. But if you like any of this content, you can hit the like button. You can also subscribe. They're both free. If you don't like it, stop watching or hit the dislike button or argue with us in the comments. Whatever. We don't care. It's engagement. And we give away prizes every month. So if you hit subscribe and you comment on anything, even if it says, hey, Justin, your nose ring makes you look like a cow, then I'll assume you're a boomer. But we might pick you to win a free prize every month because that's the kind of people we are. Nathan's here, Elvin's here. There's a multitude of Chris's. D's here sometimes, and yeah, you'll probably like one of us. Anyway, Dio is leaving because he's like, oh god, Dad's ranting again. So yeah, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, we'll just hang out. We do podcasts every couple days. Monday they talk about pop culture stuff, which includes movies and TV shows and stuff that come out that involve Marvel usually, because that's like kind of the thing that is happening. They talk about action figures, so if you like any of those stuff, you should watch it. It's Monday nights at says after you get home from work. Check the local listing or TV guide. We're probably in there. We do this show 9:45 Pacific Standard Time. As I know what that time is because we started an hour ago. We started late because we're adults and we got shit to do. So if you are an adult and have shit to do, then come watch it 9:45 every Wednesday. We talk about mostly Star Wars stuff because it constantly comes out. Some of it's good, some of it's awesome, and we talk about it anyway. And then when HBO does stuff, we talk about that on Sundays. There's the spiel.
I counted.
All right,
He
what
took
did-
one breath.
There's one thing I know how to do. It's talk in a exasperated form on the internet. So what did Rotten Tomatoes give it?
No review yet.
Okay, what did IGN give it?
I couldn't find it.
All right, we're the first.
I looked up the IGN one, and you could either look for Star Wars: The Bad Batch, like that's it. Maybe if I look directly on the IGN website, TV.
Elvin, if you want, you can clip the shout out I just did, because it may or may not have been the best thing ever, and apparently I did it in one breath.
All right.
Or no, I took one breath.
Clip that.
All right, let's see the Bad Batch.
Oh, did you see the G.I. Joe video I put out today?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
I'll
I
check
forgot
it
that I had a bunch of G.I. Joe figures here still.
Do you know what's funny? On IGN, they're like, Tech may not be dead. And they're like, here's an example. Many characters have been killed before. Like, it's true that if we don't see his body, he might not be killed, even if he's been sliced in half by a lightsaber.
All right, IGN, you're okay sometimes.
If anyone from the Bad Batch has the smarts to fake their own death, it's Tech. Yeah, I like it. It could be. I do hope, like as we mentioned before,
Tech's
I do
not
hope that he's
street
dead.
smart. Like book smart people don't fake their own death.
Well, if you plan long enough, I'm sure.
That's true.
On the fly, though, maybe not. I don't think he knows the person to get like a fake passport and all that.
No, wait, he
Anyway,
does. He already said he did.
Did he?
He remember in episode 4 or whatever, when they're talking to the old guy, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't know that those could be faked." And then he's like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah," and then he figures out how to fake passports.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
So
never
yeah,
mind.
he is the guy.
He is the guy. Oh my
Now
gosh,
he's,
moving on to
Jeff Spaceman.
anyways, moving on to Captain Kale.
Oh, I thought that was Swamp Man.
Davy Jones.
No, it's not Salt Man. It's Captain
Isn't-
Kale.
Or Swamp Thing? What's he called?
Yeah, Swamp Thing.
Swamp
Yeah,
Thing. I thought it was
Swamp
Swamp
Thing,
Thing.
yeah.
Mando, episode 5.
This was so much fun.
I got some good things to say about it. I got some bad things to say about it,
Okay.
and I got some really ugly things to say about it.
Are
Uglier
they
than him?
about?
That was what?
Uglier than him.
I mean, that's pretty ugly right there.
Wait, Nathan, what are you drinking?
I made an old fashioned before I begun. I'm I'm using 40 Creek.
You're an
Niagara
old fashioned.
whiskey.
That's what you are.
Nice, nice.
I'm not going to use the Delmore or anything like that for this.
No.
Just something on the bottom of the shelf. And then afterwards, I think I'm going to grab.
whiskey.
Yeah.
Well, no,
it
40
is.
Creek isn't even well whiskey.
For-
That's
It's slightly
That's-
above, but
yeah.
the price for this is only like $4 more than a regular, what I'd consider well whiskey.
yeah, like Jameson, like 30 something.
Oh, funny enough, Jameson is in the 40s. That's
Really?
Jameson is
Well, you know what? Good for
much
them.
more expensive than a lot of other well whiskeys.
Is
but-
is that recent?
It's been like that for a little while, but
I haven't
considering
bought-
taxes boosted up all the time.
Yeah. Well, I haven't bought non posh whiskey, I guess, for a while because I just kept getting given it. So like people would just be like, "Oh, thanks for filming this thing," or "Thanks for filming a show," or filming whatever, and they're just like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "I don't know, beer or whiskey," on top
Yeah.
of like my fee. And they're just like, "All right, cool," and they usually just bring me a bottle of Jameson. So for like during the pandemic, which I didn't really drink that much, I had like probably 5 bottles of Jameson, like like I had a couple stout barrels, I had a couple of the coffee ones, like just like different variations of Jamesons.
What do I have it written down? No, I don't think I have it written down, but there's a quote by Mark Twain. Too much of one thing is not good. Oh wait, hold on. I wrote it down here.
Okay.
I have it.
Well, now Elvin's gone and Nathan's gone, so now I'm just gonna talk to you.
I didn't turn
Hi,
my
Aaron.
camera off. Don't
Screw
worry.
Mark Twain.
I've
Hey,
got
Mark
my,
Twain's a G.
I've
Kiss
got my
ass.
green light.
He probably
book.
wasn't a bigot. He only was, in the 1800s or 17. When did Mark Twain live?
The 1900s.
Yeah, he's still probably a huge piece of shit. But I mean, for the time, he probably wasn't a piece of shit.
He was probably.
Well, actually, no. He was a world-renowned writer and poet, which means
Yeah,
he
but
had
so
to
was Ernest
extort
Hemingway.
people.
And Ernest
Yeah, no,
Hemingway was
no.
a bit of a dick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was a world-renowned writer and poet, which means he was probably extortions of something. So he probably was a piece of shit.
Oh, I wrote down the
But he
wrong
wrote some
whiskey
good stuff.
quote.
But nobody's a bigger piece of shit than this guy.
Well, yeah, he's made of kale.
Captain
You know what
Kale.
I discovered? Like a number of years ago, there are more than one types of kale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
There's like
everybody knows
20.
that.
and all of them are disgusting.
Yeah. Actually, no.
Although-
If you put them in an air fryer with a shitload of salt and like garlic, they're pretty good for chips.
Oh, kale chips?
Might not
Yeah,
be
kale
good for your
chips-
heart if you have that much salt.
Well, no. Kale's good for you. It evens it out. It's fine.
Okay.
I will give it. Kale is better than arugula. I don't think arugula.
Yeah,
That's,
arugula
that's like
can-
you saying, let's pour some whiskey into this kale. He evens it out.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Are you
Hey,
sure?
there are many doctors that say a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit of alcohol is good for you.
Please
I
send them to my wife so I can get away with eating shitty food. Yeah, send those doctors to
As
my wife.
long as the base is good and your intentions are good, because if you tell yourself you're being healthy, there's the
This is good. This is good.
you're
This is rich.
you're manifesting yourself being healthy. Duh.
McDonald's fries are good. The base is potato. That's a vegetable.
Facts.
No one can tell me otherwise.
Salt is a mineral.
Speaking of
From
bases,
the earth.
we got our boy here mapping out the city.
Is
Hell
the girl in the top like left corner? Is she like eating something with chopsticks? Like chow
Yeah.
mein?
She's writing
I'm hungry.
down notes.
Oh no! Maybe that my screen's not good enough, but
She's writing notes down.
Well,
I
yeah, you're on
swear
a
it
map.
looks like she's holding chopsticks. to
What's
me.
more realistic, eating with chopsticks in this
They've
scene,
got
or
chopsticks in Star
writing
Wars.
notes down?
They got
No, no,
chopsticks
they do
in
have
Star Wars.
chopsticks in
I
Star
have
Wars, that's the thing.
I have lightsaber chopsticks.
Oh
They
my
have-
god,
From Japan, like those ones.
are we ever gonna get to this through the show?
We're talking about it.
Get to
No,
the
yeah.
Cantina bar after the show, not
No,
during the show.
I
Oh my
thought she had
God.
chopsticks. In the
sorry,
Ah.
Dad.
You know what? I was just thinking of doing.
Go
is we
back to
should
Cabo.
You know what? Shut up. You know what I was thinking of doing is we should just go to Nathan's bar and film an episode there.
Fuck yeah!
Cantina bar at Nathan's bar.
I can bring my 360 camera.
Yeah, and then Nathan just serves us drinks and food.
These
And we're
Star Wars
obnoxious.
themed drinks.
We yell at him.
No,
And
we
we swear in Star Wars language.
What do you call this?
Oh.
The bounty hunter. What's in it? Whiskey. That's it.
what's the Star Wars curse?
The curse.
Fudge something.
Dank Ferric.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say scruffy looking Nerf herder or something like that.
Yeah, that one too. Yeah. No, we could. We'll do the 360 camera, and then we'll wear
Nathan
lapels.
has to get it okayed by the boss. over
No. 360 camera and lapels. We're stealthy. Then we can just sit there.
If you do a
Giant
single
need
cam-
a permit.
Giant
or permission.
lapel mic sitting on your chest.
I do
Yeah,
warn you.
Healthy.
If you sit at the bar, this is something I learned because I never sat at the bar before. I
Really?
worked at a bar. Before working at a pub, I never stood at the bar, always a table. But at a pub, the rule is if you sit at the bar, you're open to conversation with anyone.
Yes.
Oh.
Anyone else that sits at the bar with you, the bartender, you can't just sit down there and hide away.
No.
You're
It-
you're
If unless you're at the if it's like an L shape, if you sit at the very corner, then it's semi okay. Like
Yeah.
if you're like writing shit or like on your phone and like whatever, but if you're in the middle, you have to talk to not like engage in or start, but if somebody talks to you, you are
You got to be
then-
cordial.
Yeah.
Cordial.
totally.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
Because it's like a communal table.
it
It's
is, yeah.
rude.
Hmm.
I'm sure.
I mean,
that
everyone,
no.
yeah,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
everyone who's sitting at the bar is drunk, so just fucking talk to them. Anyway,
Have you guys? No, this is Star Wars. Don't worry. Have any of you guys been to the Cantina at Disneyland?
no, I haven't gone to Star Wars Disney.
I'm going in August.
Have you booked a table? You need to reserve tables. You need to reserve like the time that you're going to go in if you're going to get a lightsaber or a droid or anything like that.
I'm getting the ultimate VIP package.
Yeah, it's Elvin, Nathan. The
Yeah,
fuck
that's
do you
true.
think you're talking to?
I know he's going to do that. He's going to definitely do that.
Yeah. Are you gonna build a droid?
And he's going to
I
come back.
don't
with
even
all
know
the
where to
droids.
begin. I'm gonna be there for like 7 days, so we'll figure.
Oh,
it out.
okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna be there.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
there's-
VIP at Universal and VIP at Disney. So
You
Yeah.
got to do the what's it called? They've got a bounty hunting activity where you go
They do.
around Galaxy's Edge. Apparently, it's like not the best, but it's okay. You
It's
go around
like
with
an
your phone.
augmented reality thing.
Yeah,
okay.
and it's pretty neat because like if you collect all the bounties, you do all that. There's an actual animation that happens
Yeah.
like in the park, not just on your phone.
This is at Disney World.
Disney World and Disneyland,
Okay.
both of them. But anyways, the Cantina though. They've got so many cool drinks there, and they've got some
Oh.
cool food. And the vibe, you walk in, and they've got like the Cantina band playing, but they're playing it through like a DJ droid. I forgot
Well,
what he's called.
the DJ droid that was in
Yeah,
Boba Fett?
Star
no.
Tours.
No,
It was the Star Tours
the droid
driver
that was playing. That's playing in the cantina. They brought into the Book of Boba Fett, I think.
Oh yeah, I think they brought him in, but he is originally from Star Tours, which was the original Star Wars ride.
Yes, but that's the DJ, and he was, I think, in the bar on Tatooine in Dio.
I heard him.
Speaking of Star Wars droids, well, it's your fault. You jumped off of my lap, and then you're like, "Dad, I want on your lap."
I'm gonna munch here while I get you guys to curve back into the show here,
okay,
and talk about this, so then we can get back to the Cantina bar because I think the Cantina bar is lively tonight.
Okay,
so go ahead and let's get started here. This is the beginning, sort of, right?
We get back to Greef Karga, and he's fucking up everything because if anyone has played SimCity, you know that you have to plan your infrastructure first. You start with your roads, then your electric, then your residential, then your business or whatever. Anyway, but he's got all his houses built, and now he's like, no, we need a rail system here. So he's thriving. He's building a town. Then the pirates show up. And so this ship, what's the pirate's name? Pirate King.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Mandalorian. Gorian Shard. Gorian Shard's ship. Nathan, did you ever play Homeworld?
Homeworld?
Yeah.
Let me look it up to see if I did.
Homeworld was
I have watched people play it.
What?
I watched people play it. There's mods for Star Wars, right?
Yes. There is.
That's what I watched.
So Gorian Shard's ship looks like a ship from Homeworld. I won't bring up a bunch of pictures of ships from Homeworld, but Gorian Shard's ship looks like one of the like a similar design. But his ship is fucking cool. And there's a lot of speculation online about like how it's an like Trade Federation ship or something like that, which is cool. And also the gun turrets that pop out from the bottom. They are in the same placement as Republic gun turrets, so it's like he's taking a bunch of parts and scrapping a bunch of things and building this thing, which is totally what a pirate would do. But his ship is pretty cool. So he rocks up.
The shape of it is like, I think they're called the Corvettes. They're used by the Republic to hit other ships and just push them.
Oh, the Hammerheads.
Hammerheads, yeah.
Hammerhead cruisers. Yeah. Those were in KOTOR. Yeah.
Yep, they were. They're also in the Clone Wars.
They were. And they were in. Where did we see one used literally as a hammerhead? Was that in
Rogue One?
It was Rogue One. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Right above the shield thing on Scarif.
It looked so good.
It did. And so yeah, he rocks up and just starts raining hell on the city.
Yeah. Here's the thing though. What really kind of bothered me is, first of all, it's a planet, right?
Yeah.
Why are they afraid that one ship is going to take over a whole planet?
I agree.
They go one city.
It felt like a city. And
yeah, it's just, I understand.
Mean, maybe it's like Space Australia, where it's like you can only populate this part.
Yeah.
The rest is a barren wasteland.
Volcanic.
Like Canada too.
Right? It's like Venus. Yeah. It's like Venus.
Totally. And that I can understand. And also too, the fact that the Mandalorians are just on another part and they're constantly getting fucked up by giant space giant like pterodactyls and sea turtles and pterodactyls and shit. So it's like maybe the rest of the planet is just like full of boss monsters.
They were on a different planet though.
I don't think they are.
No, they are different.
Yeah, because in order to get from the planet they're hiding on to get between planets, they had to go through
hyperspace.
Oh, they did. Oh,
but,
okay.
But it still can hold true for this planet. Like a lot of it could be volcanic, unhabitable. It could be dangerous monsters everywhere.
They have the lava plains, right? So,
and I thought the perfect opportunity was when he was talking to his council about planning the city. He could have said, "Can't go to the west, the volcano's there. Can't go to the east, volcano's there." He could have set it up a little bit more.
Can't go to the south, volcanoes there.
Yeah, exactly. Like
can't go to the north.
There's lava everywhere.
Canadian borders there, right? I mean, like he could have set it up a little bit more to let them know how small and isolated this planet is in certain areas, right?
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest problem I have with Star Wars shows is they go to this planet, but actually it's just a village to show up to.
Yeah,
and they make a big deal about the name of the planet. I'm like, well, I didn't even see the rest of it. So, what is one ship gonna do? Go there and do what?
Originally, it was an outpost, wasn't it? It was just a little outpost, and then he turned it into this big city.
A trade outpost.
Well, not a big city. I would say more of a town.
You're right. Yeah, a town.
More of a town.
He claims.
I mean, Coruscant.
Look how rich we are.
Look at that compared to this, right? Like,
the Coruscant is the biggest city.
Yeah,
there's only
the planet is a city.
Compare.
It's a moving city.
Nar Shaddaa.
So
Nar Shaddaa's big, but I was thinking of what's that city that the Sith Empire just bombed to hell? Terrace, Terrace was pretty big as well.
Yeah. Then they've referenced that city in Andor, I think.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think they did. Yeah.
They mentioned Terrace a couple times actually.
But going back,
you gotta play these games with us. They're so good.
Yeah.
The Old Republic games. This is us trying to loop you in.
I'm actually playing the first of the Cal.
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order. I'm playing that right now.
Nice.
I gotta finish.
Where are you?
I just started. I just literally started. I got through the beginning 5 minutes of it. I just literally started. But I want to play this before the new game comes out.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
So I want to get this done as soon as possible. What's going on, Justin? You hear some noise?
Trains have been losing their fucking mind today around my house.
Trains?
They are just like, yeah.
I didn't know they had a mind.
They are just like blasting their horns. I don't know if there's like a protest against trains and there's hippies on the tracks or something, but like I just have been noticing trains like laying on the horns today.
Oh,
I don't know.
Speaking of laying on the horn, let's get back to this. There it is. There it is. Right on cue. So what's going on here? We have the bombardment. So he's reaching out to his boy. Is it what's his name? Tiva?
The Tiva. Guy from
Tiva, right? Carson Tiva.
Carson Tiva, yep.
Yes. He reaches out to Carson Tiva. And he's like, I need some help. Can you help me out?
And he bragged that he was not part of the Republic. He did not want anything to do with the Republic. He's like, we don't want any some other new dictator coming in or whatever. But now he's just like, all right, hey, can we have some?
We're in dire needs of your help. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this dude,
I think that shows great character on his part, though. Sure. It's not one of those guys who's like, "Oh no, I'm gonna die sticking to my belief."
Yeah,
he's like, "No, this is the best thing to do right now."
Past his ego.
Well, he's looking. It's sort of you see. Leader. He's empathetic towards the people living there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "I can go guns a blazing. I've lived a good life, but there's people here that I want to help and nurture and make sure that's a safe place." Yeah. So he's doing what he can to save all these people. And that's a good quality to have as a leader, right?
Yeah.
So he reaches to Carson. Carson goes to his superior,
Oh,
Who
I
who is
love
the
these scenes.
so the gentleman who is he's a I've seen him in comedy, a lot of comedy.
Yes,
Uh,
he's SNL
SNL,
guy,
that's
isn't
it.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was kind of shocked
Oh,
about
yeah.
that. I was like, really?
he was
'Cause-
good in it.
Yeah, but I couldn't stop laughing when I see his face. Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was kind of.
I couldn't
like
take the scene seriously. Let's put it that way.
It was an entertaining scene for sure. But I mean, it was kind of the thing, just to normalize the bureaucracy of just like, here's a kind of funny looking dude who you immediately laugh at, just being like, "Ah, sorry, my hands are tied." Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't as off-putting at first as seeing Bill Burr. Like, right when I saw Bill Burr in the Mandalorian, I was like, well, this isn't going to go well. And then it blew my mind, and he was the best thing that probably
Mhm.
came out of like top 5 things that came out of Mandalorian. That episode with
One of the
Bill
best
Burr,
cameos. Yeah, one of the best.
like
Yeah.
that Bill Burr's arc was better than Finn's of an ex-stormtrooper. Like, Bill
Not
Burr's
his fault,
story.
though. No,
What do you mean?
not Finn. I mean,
Not the actor's
John
fault.
Boyega's
No, no,
Yeah,
fault.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no.
Not John Boyega's
Bad
fault.
writing.
No.
It's just such
Bad,
bad
no,
writing.
I absolutely. John Boyega, I love John Boyega. Like,
Oh yeah,
Attack
he
the Block
hates.
was
He
an
hates
amazing
the own
show.
sequels as well.
Oh yeah, and
I
he's
love
very
it.
vocal
And he's
about
vocal.
it. Actually, that's one thing about the new trilogy, is that every actor who's on it, including Mark Hamill, is just like, yeah, that was shit. I don't agree with any of it, but I had to agree because that was the vision of fucking somebody.
Yeah.
And they all danced around the fact that they were just saying, like, yeah, Kathleen Kennedy was the horrible thing about this show.
Even the actress for Rey also made fun of it.
Yeah,
And she's
yeah,
the protagonist.
yeah,
And she's like, oh yeah, and she's making jokes like, oh yeah, Ray Skywalker. Well, not really Skywalker. You know, I only
Yeah.
met him for a day, and somehow I like it was more powerful than him.
Yeah.
Within a tiny amount of time, and I'm also related to Palpatine. But yeah, Ray Skywalker.
yeah.
And she's just making fun of the character. I loved it.
Yeah. So that's good. No, but Bill Burr's arc as an ex-stormtrooper was the Finn stormtrooper story that we all deserved, and
Yeah.
they got to tell it, and it was good.
Did he?
Um,
Did his character die, or did he get away? I can't
No,
remember. It's been a while.
he well, as far as the Republic is concerned, he's dead, because Gina Carraro or whatever her name is, when they were getting onto the Slave One, they were like, it's a shame that guy died. And then Mando was like, yeah, died in the line of fire. And then Bill Burr was like, wait, so I can go? Okay, because
Oh yeah.
if you guys are serious, I'm just gonna walk away. And then he walked away. So yeah, as far as the Republic is concerned, he's dead, but he's alive and well, and he
coming
he
back.
got out of there.
He's coming back.
I hope so.
He's
Wait,
coming
do you know
back, and he's
something?
gonna patrol the cities, the city of whatever this place was.
No, you know what's gonna happen is what is it? Raiders of the what's the show that Gina Carraro was supposed to star in? The New Republic show, TV show.
Is there still going to be a new
Squadron?
Republic TV show?
Squadron.
No, not Rogue Squadron. That's still happening. But no, there was a show that Gina Carraro was supposed to, and I'm butchering her last name, but I don't care. But she was supposed to be the main character in
The Skeleton Crew.
No, not Skeleton Crew. There was.
By the way, I'm very hyped to watch that. It's unique.
That is going to. I'm very excited. That is the same.
I'm hoping
vein.
I hope it doesn't let me down.
That isn't. Well, it might let you down. But it is in the same vein, I would say, as Andor, in the sense that it is an alternate storytelling where it's not, this is the Jedi, he's a good guy, and he fights for peace. It's not the Sailor Moon story. Yeah, it's here's a bunch of Sith and
Was that a sword you're mimicking or something else there, Nathan?
Yeah, no, that was a sword.
yeah.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is
What,
the way.
what was it called? Raiders, not Raiders of the
Why
Republic.
do you keep saying Raiders of the Lost?
I don't
Nathan
know.
is
Sounds
getting
like you say Raiders of
It's
the
Nathan
an
is
Lost
getting
R.
furious with you calling it Raiders
It's an
of the Lost
R.
Ark.
Speaking of, there's going to be a new release for Dial of Destiny, a new trailer coming out soon. I believe April or May.
Rangers of the
think
New
it's-
I'm
Republic.
telling you right now, Nathan, get ready to be disappointed.
Rangers of
I
the New Republic.
am
The
going to
rumors
try
I've
and
been
go in
hearing
with
is
no
not
emotion.
good.
I'm going to go in calm, hopeful,
Come up
and
furious.
if it's bad,
Let's go watch it
we
together.
will talk about it. Yeah, and we already agreed we're going to do an episode about it, right? If we
We'll
haven't, we have to.
We'll write it off on the company books, and let's go watch it in Richmond.
Yeah,
What are we talking about?
Let's do that.
But
Indiana Jones.
You make sure
Oh.
you let me know when the tickets are available.
Yeah. Oh, I've been watching. Hey, I even got like an update from John Wick as soon as tickets were available for that, but I didn't manage to get the seats reserved.
I watched John Wick on Monday.
How was it?
Long,
How did Donnie Yen do?
fantastic.
I honestly, I still haven't.
He was one of the
watched
highlights
any-
of the movie.
I'm so happy.
He was one of the highlights of the movie. The movie could have been about half an hour shorter, and that would have been just fine.
Sure.
But overall, I would give it a 9-ish out of. I don't want to spoil it yet because I'm supposed to talk about it next week with D. Kind of
Oh,
oops. But
9 out of 100,
A
200. You don't know.
it's a good
Yeah.
movie and worth watching. In the
Could be a
theaters.
9 out of 20. You don't
Yes.
know. Maybe they changed it.
I meant to say 0.9, maybe no,
Yeah,
but good movie.
a 9th
Good.
percentile.
Good movie. Anyways, that's Cantina Bar. Why are we? What is happening today here?
Rangers
There's
of
so
the New
much going
Republic
on
is
right
the
now.
show.
Yeah. Is that
We
what's
had
I have
3 episodes
I have
to
some
review.
breaking news to tell you guys.
Jesus Christ.
With Kathleen Kennedy and John Favreau.
They're
It's
engaged. Shit.
spicy meatball. It was a spicy meatball.
Wait, was it the one where he just told her
They have a
that
fight?
to fuck off or else he would quit?
Yeah.
We talked about that last episode.
No, but
I hope
there was
Disney
more
sides
to
with
it.
him.
New?
There's more. There's another person jumped in as well.
Okay, we'll get to that after.
Anyway, so let's
stay
get through.
tuned.
Let's get through this here.
Okay, Rangers of the New Republic. I hope that Bill Burr replaces Gina Carrera because like Disney's
I
not
hope
gonna
they
hire
bring
her.
Gina Carraro back.
I also too, even though she's like a fucking
People should
insane
be
person.
given
and
second
shouldn't-
chances, man. She said something stupid. How many people have not said something stupid? Right?
God, okay, well,
I know-
you
I know- I know, I'm not-
Comparing,
I'm
Comparing
I know I'm
the-
downplaying what she's saying.
yeah.
Oh, what did she
Well-
say again? I can't remember.
She compared the vaccines to Auschwitz and said that we are currently going through something worse than what the Jews did during World War II.
I feel
And
like she
she
hasn't
doubled
read much
down.
history. God.
No, but you know what? She's a professional wrestler and a professional fighter. I don't expect her to,
Yeah.
or anyone
No,
who
it's doing
yeah,
well
just
enough.
punches people for a living
Yeah.
to be read up on history. And that's fine. I don't think she has ever apologized or come
Yeah.
clean or anything. I think I've only
Well,
seen
she
her
was on the Joe
double and
Rogan show, and
triple down.
She was on the Joe Rogan show, and she explained that
She
some
was?
of what. Yeah, she was on the Joe Rogan show.
That'd be interesting. When?
This
Was it
was
after
right,
Star Wars?
right,
Was she
right
actually?
after this happened.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
I-
she was
I-
on there for about
she
2.5
also-
hours. And she explained herself in full about she honestly made a mistake, but
Oh,
Holly
okay.
was not interested in her apology. She said,
all right.
right.
Well,
There are. She also does now work, not exclusively, but she does a lot of movies with. I can't remember. The Daily Wire has like their own movie media company,
yeah.
and
Right.
she's done some movies with them, and I think that they were considered quite good, and her acting was good in it. And from my understanding, there's a lot of members of that company that are Jewish, but I don't know. I haven't looked into it too much, to be honest. I miss her character. I thought it was a good character.
I really wanted
Star
her to
Wars-
be Wonder Woman.
she was. I
Oh.
legitimately was going to get like her tattoo because I thought it was fucking cool. Like
There's
the
a-
little
Star Wars-
rebel symbol.
Oh yeah, that's true. Star
Like,
Wars doesn't
on-
do
on
a
my
lot
face?
of good female
You
characters.
can still get it,
I know. Yeah,
Well,
I still might.
but I don't want it on your face.
No,
We don't want to
she
muck
has
up
it
that
on her
beauty over
face.
there. We don't want to muck up that beauty.
It'll only make it better. I already have
I said-
a rebel tattoo, but
I'll quickly clarify something I said because I don't want someone to soundbite it.
Oh yeah.
Star Wars messes up a lot of female characters. They also have some
Mhm.
fantastic ones, but
Yeah.
often it's either, and it's more recently, to be honest, either
Isn't it
Star Wars
Jade
got
Mara? Or Mara Jade?
well, Mara Jade.
Well,
yeah, but I mean live action.
yeah, live action. Like Star Wars either does like fantastic character, like Leia, one of the first female characters that we see in Star Wars. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But then when you go more into what Disney's doing now, they screw up a lot. When they try and do a female character that's not about the actual character and more about just let's show off that we have a female character.
Yeah.
And we'll just make her strong because of that, rather than let's give a reason behind it. Why is she like this? How does it affect how she interacts with everyone else? And I think that, God, what's her character's name? She's
Mon Mothma.
shocked.
Oh.
No, not Mon Mothma. The girl we were just talking about. I can't remember.
Gina
Carrera.
Gina. Yeah.
Cara Dune.
Yep. Yes.
What's
Cara
Dune?
I thought that her.
Yeah, Cara Dune.
Cara Dune.
Yeah, Cara Dune.
I thought Cara Dune was actually like quite good.
She's
we see her.
badass.
She's a badass. She's an experienced soldier in like an elite unit.
Didn't she have a Gatling gun?
Probably. She has the
Wouldn't
fucking
be
tree
surprised,
trunks' arms to carry one.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was a good character, and it's a shame
was.
that we don't have someone like that right
maybe
now.
that's Heavy Mando's wife.
Excuse me.
Who knows?
Well,
Yeah.
no, he's got what's her name? I'm
Bo-Katan.
forgetting everyone's name right now. He's got Bo-Katan, and as we'll discuss a bit later, soon. Maybe
I hope so
it's
soon.
going to be
It's getting to the king and queen
Bo-Katan
type
yeah.
deal. It's starting that.
It
well,
is.
like Jyn Erso, well, one of the best female characters, and again, the fact that it's done in one movie. Jyn Erso, of course, Mon Mothma. Like, and the amount of time that's been spent on Mon Mothma, and the fact that it's the same actress. Well, obviously not the original, but the new trilogy, the deleted scene, and then she came back to voice her in Clone Wars and then play her in Andor. She's a fucking immensely complex and amazing character, even though Elvin hates all the scenes that she was in because they were boring and he wanted to die.
I said I liked her.
Yes,
For
you
one
did.
character, I
You
liked
did.
her.
You did.
Anyways, let's get back to this show, which I have some gripes with today.
Sure.
So our boy Carson goes back to that headquarters and tries to get some help. And we have short hair girl. I can't remember her name. She's there poking her business.
Imperial Amnesty Program girl.
And
I like the back and forth between the two of them, Carson and her. He's onto her. He knows what's up.
You know.
Well, I don't think that. I think
he's onto her.
I think he's just like, bitch, stop trying to get a fucking promotion. I'm trying to get some help. And
no.
You're an intern. Get out of here.
Yeah. He's like, bitch, go get me some coffee, intern. Come on. I see your patch. Like,
no, because
you
he
don't get
mentions
paid.
to her, hey, you weren't loyal. You got turned to be loyal.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
like, he knows what's up. Like he knows that she's from the other side, and that the reason why and he's curious is why she's butting in now.
Well, we saw that in season 2. Speaking of Gina Carrera and Cara Dune, there was a conversation that he had with her where he's like, there's some shit going on here. Like, these things aren't coincidental.
Yeah.
And he's like, we need to, look into this. And that was supposed to be a precursor to the Rangers of the Republic. But then that show got scrapped. But, and I'm curious to know if this arc was written before, if this
no, I think they gave him this scenes because he lost the chance to be in that show.
I think that too.
Yeah,
because this seems like, or that original conversation seemed like a setup to Rangers, but
he
now
was going to be part of that show.
Not happening. Yeah. this now they're like, okay, but I mean the fact that they're, if that is the case, the fact that they are now blending in the amnesty program, the them trying to, and I love the fact that we're seeing the start of the First Order, and it's
Yes.
these people who are still loyal to the Empire. And I love that when she was torturing Kershing, we're like, why the fuck is she doing that? Like, we didn't, it wasn't oh, she's a bad guy, she's doing this. And even the rumors of Moff Gideon being alive still were not necessarily like, I have a prediction. I think the Moff Gideon stuff is a ploy. I think they're letting us, the show is leading us to believe, oh, here's all this proof. Oh, he never made it to the tribunal. Oh, he's not here. Oh, no, he actually just died, and it's gonna be the Chiss. What's his name?
Thrawn.
Tron.
They're setting up for, oh, Moff Gideon's gonna come back, and he's gonna, but then Thrawn's gonna be there or something. Anyway.
Yeah, I have full faith that Thrawn's gonna show up very soon, either this one or Ahsoka very soon.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he has to show up in Ahsoka, I think.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it won't make sense. He's being chased, and he doesn't show up for the whole show.
But speaking of big aliens and cameos,
oh yes, sir. Oh yes, sir.
Bring up the picture. Oh, zoom in.
Oh, yeah.
Enhance.
I can't
Control. Scroll. Scroll up.
No,
Hit the control button and then
That was a
scroll
good
up.
cameo. Here, while he's doing that, let's
Hit the
talk about
control
him.
button.
it's not working.
What do you mean? You're on a PC.
It's not working.
Oh,
God,
but
if I-
so Zeb,
Zebby. This is not
Zeb.
Zeb though.
it is.
No. Oh wait. Yeah,
That is Zeb.
it is Zeb because in the end credits, it said Zeb, the voice actor.
Yeah, it was.
But is it
Steve-
Zeb from Rebels though?
Yeah, that's Zeb.
But
Yeah.
when was he
Yeah.
a squadron fighter?
Well, he
It's been a
later
while
joined.
since.
since Rebels. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never knew he was a squadron fighter in Rebels.
No, he wasn't, but he is now. Rebels takes place before this
Oh, okay.
because
Yeah.
the Imperial, the
They're
Empire
rebelling against the Empire.
Yeah, that's yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, cool.
That's the whole point of the name of the show.
I thought it was just
Um,
another creature that looked like Zeb.
No, that's
word.
Zeb. It's the same. It's Steve Bloom. It's and it was it was confirmed that it was Zeb, and
it
I thought he looked
Go
like
ahead, sorry.
Thanos.
He looked good. He looked
No,
good.
no, like in a good way. In a good way. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but like it's. Just
Oh,
kind
you
of
mean like the
purple hue.
animation like is really
the
good.
animation,
well done?
like
Yeah.
it was very Thanos-esque, and also it's just like
Yep.
a imposing, just big like blue-ish.
Yep.
I don't know.
There we go.
There you go.
There's a couple moments where I thought is like at the start I thought is he CGI or is this puppeted? Like the
Right?
mouth is CGI and then his body is puppeted,
It was
but
good.
at the end I think it's just really good CGI overall. They
Yeah.
put in a lot of effort for a character that you see just for a couple seconds.
And
the
again,
whole
too,
thing.
it's like they don't go, oh, it's this guy. Oh, wait, you were this. It was just like, if you know, you know. If you don't care. And I
Yeah.
love that. That is a perfect cameo. And also, too, it's probably going to be somebody we see a lot more because, like, he's a badass motherfucker. And if we see more of him, I'm all for it. If we don't, this was an amazing cameo. And also, too, here's a fun thing that I learned or found out. So he's part of the Blue Squadron. Blue Squadron died on Scarif, right? And Blue Squadron was originally supposed to be in the original trilogy. There was supposed to be Red Squadron and Blue Squadron, but Blue, it was messing with the blue screens that they used on all of the ships. so they couldn't have blue ships on a blue screen because it's the fucking 60s or 70s when they made it. So they made it Gold Squadron. So in Rogue One, they made that Blue Squadron. So then that's why they didn't have Blue Squadron in the original trilogy, because they all died on Scarif. So this means that they're bringing Blue Squadron back.
Or maybe he just had like a cold. He couldn't make it in that day.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
For me,
Yeah,
this looks like that show that they were supposed to do with Gina, and they're molding it into this show. They're bringing it into here.
Sure. Or this is they still might do it.
Yeah, there's a strong chance of that happening.
Because this also could be just like, hey, here's these cool dudes, and here's some shit that they do. Now here's a new show. Because it could just be like these guys just show up for this episode, and then they see how people talk about it on the internet, and if everyone's like, man, those guys were cool, they'll be like, okay, we'll get the show on the road.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised to see him. I was happy.
Do you know who else was in the bar?
Filoni.
And
was he actually?
Deborah Chow.
Oh yeah, because Filoni's hat. I saw Filoni's hat.
Yeah. Deborah Chow, Dave Filoni, and there's another director. I can't remember.
Oh, they're all there, huh? Okay.
Yeah, they were all there.
John Favreau didn't get the memo then.
No, John Favreau wasn't in there, but he's Vizsla anyway.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
He was already all over this episode.
Yeah. Speaking of the Vizsla crew,
the I have the talking stick scene.
Yeah.
They're all around the campfire.
Because he couldn't get help, Carson, he actually goes and flies to where all the Mandos are, and they're wondering how he found them. And then it's like, well, the droid over there, buddy, he's our spy. Like, I was like, this is so stupid. Like, how are these guys so dumb? This is so dumb. Right?
But
I thought it was pretty bad.
But Pelly already hinted at that. She was like, R5, he fought in the rebellion, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but I would have been happier if we had a scene where either he like tries to reach out, he sends like a message out to his droid like somewhere, and eventually his droid like responds, or maybe his droid responds like, to him like, hey, just so you know, I'm over here. Just so that way we have a bit of context, because when he just arrives at the planet, I'm thinking like, what the fuck, how did he get here? And then he's like, oh, that droid there, he's my like little spy little friend. And in that moment I'm like, shoot the droid, you can't trust it anymore.
Yeah, but also too, that just shows that
like,
the Mandalorians aren't infallible. It's like they've been hanging out with this droid
that
they've
I've seen them die. I've seen them kind of get destroyed. I know that
it wasn't a huge deal. It was a minor deal, but it was kind of like you could have come up with a better idea. But I'll forgive them for that. That to me, it's a little minor thing to what happens down the road that I find even more insane that they've done this. And I was waiting for it because I called this too. By the way, I think the 2 episodes ago I was saying this. And I'll allude to it in a second here. But so he gets their attention. He's like, listen, I need help. Well, our boy over there needs help.
Your boy.
Yeah.
Your friend.
You're going to come or not? Because I'm going to go.
Okay. I love how Paz Vizsla just rocks up and he's just like, fuck out of here, blue boy.
I ain't got no time for you. Get out of here. Straight up.
Nerd.
Yeah, straight up. Like, he don't give a shit, right?
Yeah.
But, Mando has that little, hammer in his hand or wrench in his hand. The talking stick, if you want to call it.
I have spoken.
Yeah. And he says, like, this guy has helped me and, and helped me and Grogu escape. I know that in the beginning, their intentions were bad. They, were basically suppressing the Mandalorians, but he came around and he came around big time, and he's like, basically, I feel like we need to help him. And then, Vizsla gets up and you're like,
I loved this scene.
Well, go ahead. Yeah, talk about it. Yeah.
I love Vizsla getting up and just being like, he fought us. I watched us die because of this guy. And what, all for this child? Well, what? And we're supposed to lay down our lives to fight for somebody who has fought for one of our children? You're goddamn right we do. We're Mandalorians. And everyone's just like, yeah, maybe, what? Fuck this guy. No, and then he's just like, but that's not what we do. And then everyone's like, yeah, let's go fucking kill pirates. Like, it was the best locker room scene speech of just like, it was such a good twist of right when Vizsla was starting to talk shit. I was just like, yeah, okay, this makes sense. And then he comes around and he's just like, he saved my boy. She saved my boy.
Rudy
This guy-
who? Rudy who? Who?
The second that he
It's
started
Vizsla
like
time.
he started like getting everyone riled up, I got so excited. And immediately I was just like, oh, we get the dropship scene now. Oh, we get all the Mandalorians fucking people up. And I got so excited.
And yeah, sure enough, they Bo-Katan basically, gives them a little pep talk before we go. They go into hyperspace. They show up.
Yeah.
They see the place is just getting just destroyed. And well, I like the scene before that where they show all the drunk pirates in the streets.
Yeah.
Give me
Shooting
some
the
more.
monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah. They see that.
No, they're not monkeys.
The
They're
coaxing-
salacious
Coax-
crumb.
No,
No,
that's
that's
the
the
name. They're
name.
coaxing
monkey lizards.
monkeys. Yeah, monkey lizards. not
One of the
lizard
names was
monkeys,
salacious
monkey
crumb.
lizards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was Jabba
No,
the
that's
Hutt's-
the name of Jabba's.
Yeah,
thanks.
my one of my friends, my good friend, that is his favorite character in Star Wars.
Oh, he has like a full life-size version of it, doesn't he?
Yeah, it is
Which
his
you can
favorite
get.
character.
If Alvin,
I'm
while
not getting
you're
that
at
ugly thing. Get
Disneyland,
that ugly thing out of my house.
you can
Oh,
not
it's
only can you
disgusting.
get those things, you can get one that will actually like sit on your shoulder.
I will
and
get that from my
what
friend.
you do is while you're walking around Galaxy's Edge, you've got like a little controller with like a thing that goes through your arm, and so yeah, it like looks around, it'll like speak, and then it can like make noises and move and all
I'm
that
getting
while
that
it's
for
on
my
your
friend.
shoulder. Do that, but
Yeah.
also wear it in the park because like all the
Yeah.
cast will interact with it. They'll like treat it like it's
Really?
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm gonna get that for my friend.
I hope that the
And
cast
they got
of
different colors
Galaxy's.
too.
I hope the
Ooh.
cast.
Do
of
they have a
Galaxy's
brown one?
Edge gets paid
Yep.
well. Of course they do. They're
Okay.
only brown.
No, they have brown, and then they also have I forgot which planet they're from, but they're like bright green and blue.
Oh,
Yeah, they're in the Clone Wars.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
get him the
I
brown
remember
one
that.
because that's
Yeah,
the
the
one
classic.
he likes. Yeah, but yeah, they just come down and they're just drinking, throwing beer cans at people and shit.
Yeah.
Right, the whiskey bottles at me, and the little tiny little characters. What are those things called? The
Oh,
little guys.
the Babu Frick, whatever.
Yeah,
he is.
Babu Frick.
I still love how they throw them in there and they're like, everything's okay, everything. Oh shit!
It's so good.
That is fan service of just like, hey, here's
Uh-huh.
this cute guy that the only thing that people liked from these movies. Here's Babu Frick again. It's not him, but you don't care. He's cute.
And then
Oh.
down they came. Down they came.
Then
the
fucking
jetpacks.
Rainbow Six Mandalorian edition. This was so fucking
Call of Duty.
cool. Yeah. This was so cool.
It's
To
like Call of
see-
Duty meet Destiny.
Yeah, to see Mandalorians just like doing what they do and not just like one-on-one combat, which we've seen a couple
Yeah.
times, and you see a Boba Fett, you see a Jango Fett doing some cool shit. Seeing a group of Mandalorians just like being a squad and doing fucking tactical shit was the coolest thing. I have
do-
been
Sorry, go ahead.
waiting this whole season just for this scene.
I do want to say though, they are not as good as I thought they were
Again, they're not immortal.
because they made
But-
some really calculated mistakes when they were going through the city.
Sure.
You're right, Alvin,
Um,
but I'm going to assume these guys have not all seen combat as a group
Yeah.
in a long
Yeah.
time. They're
That's
And
what
also too, military versus guerrilla warfare. That is always a huge difference.
Yeah.
If you get like people who are used to the area or know the area versus people just coming in, that's always a huge disadvantage. And
Yeah, I
also they
mean-
weren't immortal, but they weren't like useless. You would see Mandalorians get hit and then get back up. And you're like, yeah, that's cool. But then they would bring in a huge blaster, and some of them they would go down, and then Paz would get hit, and he would just like get behind cover and be like, "Fuck."
Yeah. So basically, going through town.
Oh, also
killing-
there were no superfluous spins,
Thank God for that.
so this fight scene was great.
Thank God for that.
Oh, also
So
the
there's a
second that
pirate
Paz
doing that?
Vizsla shows up with the Gatling gun and like they're like, "Oh, everything's fucked. We're all gonna die," and then he just rocks up and he's like, "Don't worry."
Yeah, it's like everywhere.
so
It's just
cool.
lighting it up, right?
Oh,
But
so
the bad guys
cool.
also had their own Gatling gun that they clanked
did.
on,
They did.
and that thing shot some strong bullets.
Yeah.
It pinned these guys on the ground,
Yep.
but they're able to survive. They're able to get through it. What else? What else is there in this scene here that I'm trying to think of?
The armor
space
comes
fights?
up behind.
Okay,
The armor doing some John
this
Wick
was
shit?
so bad.
Really?
This was a bad scene. It went from good to trash in like 5 seconds.
Really? I
Okay,
didn't
so
think
I was disappointed too. I agree.
it didn't blow my mind.
I want to hear what you have to say, Nathan, because I think you're going to say
Well,
the same thing as me.
I was hoping for some sort of John Wick-esque thing where like they built up the armor as like she's the keeper of the old ways. She is this renowned warrior. She is a badass. And we've seen her before in combat when the sewers were invaded and her, just run up from the shadows. Well, I say run up, just come out and fucking nail them with the hammer. I was hoping in this she'd be like really stealthy, but in like a kind of
like
I don't know,
snap the
badass way.
neck.
Yeah, like just go up, just brutal, like
Yeah.
bash someone's chest in with the hammer, like
I mean, she
breaking
did.
skulls.
She
Yeah, but
she
not
threw
not in
Okay, so
the way I wanted to see.
the
Unfortunately,
choreography was very akin to the last episode. I will give it.
It
that.
wasn't how she went about doing her business. It was about the enemy reacting to her as well, because she takes down the two guys, and then there's a guy right in front of them who's oblivious to the whole thing.
Keep in mind, he's shooting the biggest laser that you can.
It wasn't
put on
him.
a
It was
turret.
there's two guys in the front and there's two guys in the back. She jumps the two guys, which I thought was
maybe
fine.
he's a deaf pirate. Hearing
Well,
impaired.
again,
I don't know.
there's
I'm
a
trying to
giant
justify it
fight-
here, but
There's
you're
a
right.
giant fight scene happening below, and there's a turret within 10 feet of him, just going.
I don't know, because the turret wasn't firing when they were getting their handed to them.
Sure, I think that would have
You know,
maybe
I-
fixed it.
I think
I would
Alvin is
like I
kinda right
know
there,
what
yeah.
you're saying, Nathan, and I agree with you. Like, I would have loved to have her just like bang, bang, throw the hammer, bang, like real quick, right?
Way faster. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But I
she just-
agree. I would have liked them to react to it too. The guys up front. I
Yeah.
would have liked to see maybe some fear. Like,
Yeah.
how did she get in here? She's taking us all down so quickly.
Yeah.
Maybe the last couple guys try and run. Instead, the last couple guys don't even see what's going on. And it's
Yeah.
not
Look
like
at
she's
what
being stealthy
look
at that
at what
point.
she's holding. She's holding a Beskar weapon.
Yeah.
I want to see brutality a little bit here. Maybe
Yeah,
Disney,
we saw
maybe
her-
Disney said no, pump the brakes on that. Maybe,
Well, because we saw her cave in
we've
a
seen-
skull, but off screen.
but we've seen dinosaurs eat people in here, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
what's wrong with the hammer going through someone's head,
Yeah.
right? Like, I would have just loved to see just be more brutal in there, right?
Disney
And-
doesn't like blood.
Oh, well,
especially
you
in
don't have to
Star
have
Wars.
blood.
They
You could
avoid
just
it.
have them pin flying back into the wall, right?
Well, do you know what sense? They used to allow blood in Star Wars. If you look at A New Hope, when
But you
Obi-Wan
don't have to
cuts
have
off
blood
the
to
arm
show-
of
You don't have
I
to
know,
have
but,
blood
like-
show up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she could
I
just
think-
swung the thing and the person could have went flying into the wall, right?
True,
This thing, when you
but I
swing it has a lot of power to it, right?
in Star Wars, we don't see blood often because the weapons essentially like heat up the area, so they give you like an
It
incredible,
cauterizes it,
horrible
cauterizes
burn.
the area.
Yeah. So there's no blood. But there are scenes in Star Wars where we have seen blood. Ironically, the first time we see blood in Star Wars is with a lightsaber before they've kind of determined that it cauterizes the wound. In the bar, the cantina, when Obi-Wan cuts off the arm of, I can't remember his name, that guy who was like messing with Luke, and it falls to the ground. There's blood. So it's not something that's super new to Star Wars. And I think just in this scene, it adds to the brutality of what's happening. Everyone else is fighting with guns. People are getting killed because the burn. But then all of a sudden, you just have this armor, this ancient looking warrior behind you, and all of a sudden, she's carrying is Beskar, a Beskar hammer and tongs, and she's just beating the hell out of everyone. I think it would be terrifying if there's blood.
I would have loved to see one of them actually hit her armor as well.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even get anyone attacking her, right? Like, I would have loved to see someone hitting her armor and she just blocks it or lets it hit, because she obviously knows that armor is not going to be impenetrable, right? Like, I didn't see her get her moment, in my opinion. I thought they shortchanged her a little bit, right? So yeah, but nevertheless, she got involved, which is fine because she rarely gets involved, and it's nice to see that she showed up there, and gonna hand it to them, and clears the way for these guys because the Gatling gun is no longer operational, which is cool. So now they all get up and then start firing away, and so after that, it's about the spaceship now, right? It's about the ship.
Yeah,
they're trying to take that down. So it's Mando, Din, and Bo-Katan's business now to kind of take this thing down. And Din gets there first, drops the bomb on it, and he gets their attention. They release the fighters to go after him. I've never seen these. Are they new? These planes?
Yeah, they are.
No. We've seen them once before.
Have we?
They're
we saw them a
slight
couple episodes
variation.
ago.
Oh yeah, no. I meant like you're right. Yeah, we did see them with the pirates, right? Fighting in the Astro area. Okay.
They're a slight variation of a similar ship that we've.
But
seen
they
in
are
Star Wars
new
before.
in terms of the show, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They're a slight variation on something we've seen in the Clone Wars before, but a variation.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But
and
these
quickly,
are unique.
While we're on the subject of the ship, were you guys hoping that the Mandalorians would capture the ship?
Kinda. It's a fucking badass ship.
It is a nice ship.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that they.
No, I didn't have that in my mind that they would take it over, because I didn't really. Actually, honestly, I didn't think of that at all. That's such a good point. Why not? Right?
Because the pirates, I kind of expected them to be boarded. I just think it played into that stereotype a little bit. I thought the pirates are going to be boarded by this boarding party of Mandalorians.
Okay. Yeah.
Instead, no.
They all
I'm like, I get it.
Guns, right?
Or the armorer just gets on and fucks up everyone on the bridge.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And she just has like 50 throwing hammers.
Yeah.
She has like a million
of the
Thor's
hammer
whispering bird shots.
Oh, she just rocks up and then just like just looks at them and whispering willows just.
That's why she has the fur over it.
I was just gonna say, lifts up the fur and it's just like 50 of them. Just
so sick. They could
Imagine
have made her so
hurt
much
the
cooler,
helm.
man.
Yeah.
They
Imagine
really
hurt
could
the
have
helm,
wrapped her up.
and that's like a Mandalorian warship just going somewhere.
That'd be so cool.
I think
So. They
that'd be pretty
take
neat.
down the ship, right? They get
And it
down.
explodes.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, that
take it
was
down.
very good. The explosion.
It was such a good explosion.
So after this, what happens?
They all
It's
party.
the award ceremony.
Yeah.
This is where I have the biggest gripe of the show.
Really?
They grab the Ewoks. They all start celebrating.
The show lost. No. This is where the show lost a lot of points.
Really?
I did not like the nonsense with Bo-Katan and armor inside that cave.
We predicted this though.
No, I predicted her leaving.
No, okay.
I predicted her leaving.
Them coming to terms with the fact that the alt-right needs to party with the alt-left.
Okay, let me tell you something right now.
Okay.
You correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Every time I'm not trying to get into religion, but when you have a specific religious group that have a specific rituals or traditions,
Mm-hmm.
and they have somebody come into their group and follow those traditions and respect and everything, all that stuff, they're not going to be like, you know what? Just do your own thing. Don't worry about us. You came and ate our bread and stuff, hung out with us. You know what? I think it's expired now. And go do your own thing. I just felt like it cheaped out their beliefs because she's so hardcore, the armor, about everything. Look, she
Yeah.
kicked out Mando. I mean, Din.
Sure.
Made this guy go get the hell out of here. I don't care what you did for us, but we're dead set on our beliefs,
Okay.
right?
Let's
I
talk
don't
about
know, like-
Catholics and Protestants.
I was gonna say. I was gonna bring up the Protestants.
I-
He even
I
said
just-
bread. He said,
Yeah, I know.
I'm not trying to bring up any specific religion. I'm just
No,
saying.
you have to because this is all an allegory.
Well, you guys can, but I'm just looking. I'm just saying. I'm looking at it from a
You
because
guys
we're-
can accept all the hate on the internet.
I'm not going to take any of that crap. But
Okay.
what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter if it's cat. There's other religions out there
I
that
know,
are
yeah.
divided. Like Muslims have different, they have the Sunnis, the Shiites, and so on and so on. A lot of religions have these groups that are very strict.
Yeah,
and
because
I don't want to use the word extremist because that's wrong, but I think strict is the word. And I thought these guys were like that. They were strict, the core.
Yeah.
This is the way, right? The word, this is the way, right?
Mhm.
And she's like, yeah, you know what? Take it off. Don't worry about it. It's all good. I'll explain to the boys. What's
yeah,
going on."
But-
I did feel very
I just found that it
accurate
was so shitty and so stupid. The writing is
Okay.
horrible on that. Anyways, go ahead, Justin.
I have an argument against that because I thought it was awesome.
Okay.
Why?
Why?
Because we have a group that is so strict in their ways. Then they go, okay, well, you know what? You have taken let's be real. The very
there. Baptism.
easy to achieve. Did you put your hat on? Did you water
Put your
on?
hat on.
All right, cool. You're in. And then she knows who Bo-Katan is. She knows where she came from. She knows her family. She knows her lineage. She knows she doesn't give a thundering fuck about their ways. Yet they have been divided. They are in shambles. They're constantly getting fucking annihilated by anyone who comes through. Then this one person who has been against their ways and is an enemy to them because they are not the same as them, and she takes her hat off. Oh, how could she do that? She comes in, she unites them, she gives them drive, she saves them, and it has more drive and passion than any of them. And then she organizes an assault on a group of people that have wronged a group that they used to be enemies with. She has now brought their entire group together, who is normally super divided and fighting amongst themselves constantly. Then this one person who is on opposite side of their people comes in and unites them and fixes fucking everything. And they're successful. The mission goes well. They save the kid. They go to fuck up the pirates, and it all goes well because she told them what to do. So at that, and then also too, she's like, oh, by the way, I saw fucking Mythosaur. So now the armorer, who was in denial kind of, and was like, oh, well, you see some crazy shit when you go there. And she's like, no, bitch, I saw one. And she's like, okay, well, this is the way. So that was her also just like kind of putting that off and not really accepting that, and maybe taking some time to, just decompress what she had just been told. And now, after all of this and seeing how successful and how much of a great leader she is now saying, you know what? Maybe we need to rethink things, or not necessarily we need to, but we just need to stop alienating people who don't live exactly how we do. And that is her being like, okay, the only way, and also too, them accepting a home in the light, in public, and being like, we're going to live here amongst people that respect us and that we can live with and exchange with. And now Bo-Katan, you know what? You're not exactly like us, but you are Mandalorian. And I know that you wanting to do this and this and this. So you know what? I'm not going to hinder you anymore. And it's not so much oh, you know what? Our ways are stupid. It's, you know what? We're not going to be on your back. And, we're not going to tell you what to do. You are Mandalorian. You have fucking proven that. And you have done this community an amazing service.
Okay.
You do you, and you make Mandalore great.
There are two ways they could
That's
have
what
went.
I got from that.
I totally majority of the stuff you said, I'm in agreement with what she's done, but this is not the Bo-Katan show. This is the Mandalorian show.
The
For Din.
Mandalorian. That
But
is the big.
Din should be the number one person here, and
I
I felt
disagree.
the last 3 episodes has been Bo-Katan, and I'm hating it.
I
don't-
disagree.
I could care less about Bo-Katan.
It's not called the Din
no.
Djarin show. This
But
is
it
the
should-
Mandalorian.
You can have an
Sure,
episode. You can
It
have
could
an
be
episode.
but it
You
is Mandalorian.
You can have an
as a
episode
whole.
of Bo-Katan, and then you move on. I don't need to see 3 episodes of Bo-Katan. I don't need to see this at the end here of her locking hair flowing in the air, and then the look she gives, the blue steel look. This is so cheesy and corny.
I loved it.
They're propping her up for what? Like, come on.
She has been in such an integral. Like, I love Din Djarin. I love Din Djarin as a character. When Bo-Katan showed up, I got so much more invested in the Mandalorian.
She didn't
show.
even give a shit in the beginning. She was sitting on her throne.
I know. No,
Din
no,
had
no.
to convince
last season, and the season before that. When she
she's
showed
always
up,
been disrespectful to everybody because
she's been disrespectful to the alt-right. She's been disrespectful to these religious zealots.
What I was
and
going to lead
she's
to,
always been like that.
What I was going to lead to is when the armor says to take her helmet off. I don't understand why. The armor should have said, if you don't feel like accepting our terms, then you have an option to walk out of here with the helmet on or off. But why would you bring somebody in, alluding to what you were saying? I don't think the armor looks stupid right now. The armor looks really stupid in this whole situation because she and her group are this old corner, and before even accepting Bo-Katan into this group, why not tell Bo-Katan that, hey, I know you are part of this. I know you're all that over there, and do you want to be part of our group or not? Like, give her the option right in the beginning. Don't make her come into the group and accept the terms and then tell her, by the way, those terms are optional.
Well, I think that was because in the beginning, she was like, this is the way. And then after that, after seeing everything that she has done and the quality and the caliber that another Mandalorian can be, she is then accepting and just being like, you know what? This doesn't make you Mandalorian. This is our ways, and that's our traditions, and that's fine. But you are still Mandalorian, and that's why she, after all of this, and now, not to discredit, like,
yeah,
it wasn't a little thing. It wasn't like in the morning she was like, oh yeah, the thing I told you yesterday, that's fine. Like, Bo-Katan went through some fucking shit, and like saved a youngling, defended them, protected them, respected their ways, and then made this huge thing and then gave them a home. And then at that point, she was just like, fuck, okay, well, you know what? I know this isn't for you, and you have been doing this the whole time to respect us, and that's amazing. And I appreciate that, but I know that this is not you. And that was her then being like, you are still, and that's her respecting her lineage and still being like, you are still Mandalorian. I know you don't want this. Take your helmet off. If you take your helmet off, you are still Mandalorian. It does not take that away from you.
It happens but this kind of stuff happens too much in Disneyland. And I mean Disneyland, I mean all of Marvel and Disney's shows. It happens way too much now, where it just becomes kind of annoying. Nathan, I want you to give your take on it because we've kind of given ours, but I wanted to hear what you have to say as well.
I only watch this show for Baby Grogu.
That's what I was waiting for.
That's the Mandalorian.
That is a political answer if I've ever heard one.
I do kid about that.
You should run that town instead of that other dude.
Yo, speaking of which, last week I filmed a MLA town hall meeting.
Oh.
Were you snickering and laughing in the back?
Dude, I was I was filming it in a recording studio. So I was in a soundproof room. It borderline turned into an episode of fucking Mari. It was so good. Mari Povich,
Wait, was this
Do you
a
not know
town hall
Mark?
sort of thing?
Yeah, so like our member of parliament, the MLA,
Oh, your
was
MLA or
meeting. So it was like an
wait,
MLA
sorry, your
meeting.
MLA or MP? MLA is provincial, MP is federal.
MLA. So it was our
MLA, okay.
provincial. It was the guy who then goes to Victoria to talk to
Yeah,
the federal government. So it was the provincial leader of the town talking with all the small business owners about shit that they don't like and what they
was this
should
kind
go
of
and
like
talk to the federal government about.
was this
And
like
they
an
were
episode of
Martin
Parks and Rec?
Well, kind of.
No,
It was no. It was not funny. It was like the most verbal fists thrown, and I'm thinking, oh
Yeah.
great, I get to go film a town hall fucking thing, and they're just
Wow.
like, no motherfucker, you didn't answer my first question, and they're just calling it.
What district is this?
For White Rock, South Surrey.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't
It
mess
was
with those seniors
awesome.
over there.
Yo, well, it's just like this is post-pandemic small business owners,
Oh man.
and like mental health company owning
Advocates, yeah.
and advocates, and also they just imposed a beer tax, so there was like 5 pubs that were there to just fucking throw fists. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Tomorrow
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
a tax increase on alcohol here, so
Yeah, the beer tax
as of tomorrow,
Oof.
yeah.
Yeah. It's funny how they do increase in beer tax, but not Coca-Cola tax.
Yeah, it's because it's I don't know why.
It makes no sense.
because we love alcohol.
Yeah, it's because the sugar that they get for Coca-Cola is all made by slave labor in some other country.
Actually, it is kind of.
It
funny
sounds
when
like
you
a
think about
joke.
It. It's like
It
no,
sounds like
like,
a joke, but you
it
are.
is-
You
there's
know
an
what? I
element
should
of
laugh.
truth,
You
yeah.
are probably pretty close.
I'm probably right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
going back to the Mandalorian, I'll
Yeah.
quickly give a rundown. I do think that Bo-Katan should unite the Mandalorians, but I'm very upset that after them building up this whole idea of her denying the creed and then coming into the fold and feeling like actually having a sense of belonging,
Yeah, she
and
was getting
community and
hugs and she
participating.
felt part of a group,
Yeah.
right?
She actually finally achieved this kind of I don't want to say peace because that's not what the Mandalorians are about, but she received this kind of fulfillment in her life that she's been looking for. And instead of embracing that, and it's not her fault, it's the armor, but the armor is just like forget all this development we worked on the last couple episodes. Let's just go back to your original plot, your original story in season 2 that everyone's kind of moved past and don't care about because the characters stopped caring. Why should we? And
but I think that was the development for the armorer and that sect of the Mandalorians. I think that was
but the armor has not. The armor's shown no development throughout the series. You can't.
She's been
as a
straight
story
line.
writer,
I think
you
this
can't
is
just
the start.
Yeah, but this is
Yeah, but then she would've took her
if you
helmet
want it to be a
off then.
start. If
No,
you
no,
want
I
it
think
to be a
this was-
start, you need to take steps. You can't just jump. Otherwise, it's
Sure.
not
Yeah.
story writing.
I do agree. It was missing some steps, and I don't disagree that it was sudden. But the pacing of this season is very fast. They keep starting stories and immediately finishing them.
Which is hurting
And
the overall.
You're 100%
story.
right, but you're 100% right, Justin. And I also agree that, like, looking at it as the armor story works, and that makes sense. But again, considering that this is not a character that's been introduced this season, it's not a concept that's been introduced this season. This is a concept introduced in season 1 at the very first episode, within the first like 15-20 minutes. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it's just moved by that quickly.
But
It's
I
too
don't know
fast.
that. I think had they taken the rest of the season to do this, I would have been fucking mad because I would have been like, ugh. But I think there needs to be some like maybe they have this fight scene. They have this episode kind of conclude. Then they go, oh, okay, we did it. We're gonna settle in now, and then they go to the scene with what's his name being like, oh, here's the shuttle that's been derelict and Moff Gideon now maybe escaped and his body never got there. And then next episode they do her accepting other Mandalorian ways. And then
honestly, I think what they should have done with this was the armor should have said to her, "You are part of the because you bathed in the water, you didn't take your helmet off yet. You have the option to be part of our clan, but should you choose not to, or have like a what is that called when somebody starts a new job? What's it called?
Intern.
No, not intern. What I can't remember
probation.
the name. Probation.
Hire?
Thank you.
Yep.
Probation. She should have said something like, "No, there should have been an acceptance, but not right away. Like, hey, listen, we don't know you well enough. You are part of another clan. There should have been some sort of understanding. Like, we'll accept you for now, but under certain terms, and we'll see how that goes. Something more logical. Something more that if she decides to leave, it's not a slap in the face of this group, because you see, like when she comes out with the helmet on the with the helmet off, everybody else, Vizsla gets up and goes, "What the fuck? Like, what's going on here?" Like, and then Armor's like, "Oh, it's okay. She's allowed to take it off because she's gonna go and help us get more people." Well, you can still go get more people with the helmet off, right? Can you not? Like, are other clans not gonna listen to you because you have your helmet on?
But I think that was her being, what's the opposite of naive?
Generosity?
Wise?
Yeah, I think that's her being wise in the fact that she knows that other Mandalorians don't accept their creed. And she knows that Bo-Katan doesn't give a shit about keeping her helmet on, and it's literally just a piece of armor that is used for protection or technology.
Wouldn't it have been stronger for her to go have the helmet on and then go to the, like, let's say her own clan, she goes in and says, "I'm keeping this on because those guys, they're legit good people."
But no, those, as far as all Mandalorians are concerned, are fucking crazy. And they know that even when Bo-Katan
and having her helmet off, what difference does that make?
When Bo and her group ran into Din, and he was like, "You're not Mandalorian. You took your helmet off." And then they were just like, "Oh, it's one of those." Like, but those are the Amish of the Mandalorians. They're just like, "Oh, it's those fucking guys who."
But she's the one that's going to make the difference by saying to them, "Hey, look, my way of thinking about these guys has been totally wrong. These guys are legit because I bathed in the water, and guess what? I saw the goddamn mythosaur they're talking about."
Yeah, but so it's
that's even more stronger case than her taking the helmet off.
No, because they already have a bad taste in their mouth. It's the ones that have tainted. And again, this is, as far as we know, the last remnants of Death Watch, of the ones who like started civil wars constantly and were the thing that got Mandalore eradicated. And the fact that they are moving forward and being like, you know what, we will accept other people, and being accepting of that and being aware of that and being like, you know what, take your helmet off. It doesn't matter. We know that this is not for you. This is for us. That's fine. But you are going to be the commissary.
How does the armor know that's not for her? Because she's already accepted the terms.
Because they've been fighting against them.
If it wasn't her, like if Armor knew that she didn't like doing this, why would Bo-Katan in the beginning accept the terms and stick with it? She could have walked away and said, "No, this is not for me. I'm not keeping my helmet on."
Sure, but then it would just been a fight, and then they would have been a fight. Been kicked out.
No, because she can walk away, and Din's going to back her up and say, "Hey, she doesn't."
No, because they say you don't get to wear that armor. That was the first interaction that Din had. He was like, "You don't get to wear this armor. Where did you get that armor? You can leave here." Like when he ran into Boba Fett, he was like, "No, like you leave here dead."
But Din owes her one because he got saved by her.
Yeah, but if in their eyes, if you take your helmet off, you are not Mandalorian. You don't get to wear your armor. They kill you and they take their armor and they melt it down for their kids.
She doesn't have to take the helmet off. She could just leave.
Yeah, but
I don't want to be part of this anymore. Like, sure. the armor should have given her terms. Either you accept our ways or you can walk out of here. Right?
That's why they're so crazy, and that's why nobody likes them. It's because they're like That's why nobody likes him. Is because
Listen,
they're so
this is an
fucking
argument
crazy.
between a Catholic priest and a Protestant priest. Okay, it's gonna go nowhere, and both of us are accepting their truths.
But I do agree, Nathan, that it should have gone for at least another half an
Nathan, you said
episode.
you mean Alvin?
No. What Nathan said is that he agrees with me,
Oh, I don't.
and
think
he
so.
also agrees with you.
No,
And
I
it
don't
should
agree
have.
with either one.
I love the interaction that went on. I do think it should have gone on for another like half an episode.
How cheesy is this scene? It's so cheesy. He's like a
That's
little bit.
Bo-Katan.
It's a
Again,
book
I
of
was
bullshit.
so fucking excited
It's
to
a-
see Katie Sackhoff show up in this.
She can f off right now. I'm so sick of this. Like, oh my god, it's
I
so
loved it.
cheesy.
It was
It
good.
was so cheesy.
It's
Oh
a
my
French
God.
triple brie cheese. To some people
Come
love
on,
it, but
baby.
some
Le
people find it.
fromage.
Yeah.
Le trois
And
fromage.
Is she gonna be wielding the dark saber now?
No, she doesn't own
No,
it.
she has to
it's
be
gonna be
Din-
king and queen. She's gonna fuck off on a mythosaur, and he's gonna be like, "Yeah,
The dragon.
yeah." Gonna be
It's
king
still-
and
Oh,
queen.
God.
It's Khaleesi and
So-
Deviant
Jon
Art,
Snow.
DeviantArt's going mad right now, just doing, just shipping,
D&D
Din and
players are shaking in their boots. Star Wars is moving on the turf.
no, there's been D&D, Star Wars D&D.
Oh, there? Oh, okay.
I've played it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Is- It's
Yeah,
not
it
official,
came
though,
out in the
right?
fucking 90s. No, there is.
Is
There's
it-
official
Is it an official?
Star Wars RPG, like
Oh, wow.
tabletop Star Wars RPG. Yeah. They make
Crazy.
figures
Wow.
and everything.
That's crazy.
Well,
It's
I think we should get
awesome.
into the scores.
yes.
Yes.
Justin, since you were so motivated,
I'm gonna go 8.
all right.
It was
Eight.
fun. It had a lot of awesome fight scenes. Oh, and had political stuff. It's now blending the
Religious
seeming-
stuff.
Well, yeah. It's just like it's Hasidic Jews with helmets. Like that's what the Mandalorians are, and it's fucking awesome.
It's Sikhs and non-Sikhs. Okay.
Yeah, whatever. And we're getting the cloning stuff. The
Uh-huh.
seemingly random plot points that they are just starting. I love how fast this
Yeah.
season is.
By the way, did I
starting.
tell you the other person I don't like is that short hair girl? She really
Oh,
annoys
yeah.
me. But
Yeah,
that's her job, though.
point.
I get it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the point. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
she just annoys the heck out of me.
yeah.
Yeah.
She showed up, and I was just like, oh fuck, the
I
intro.
know, right? It's like, oh
Yeah.
god.
But
Not
they're
her.
they're blending in that stuff, and that's maybe turning into stuff that they're talking about in the Bad Batch, or we're talking about, but it's clone stuff. And
we didn't even talk about We didn't even talk about this.
Yeah, I mentioned it when they saw the derelict
Yeah, it
ship,
was
and
briefly
that
discussed.
Moff
Out of order.
Gideon might still be alive.
So I think the best card that he's talking about is Planted.
Totally.
I think it's either Planet or, actually, yeah, you're right. Now that you mentioned that, it's probably Planet. I was thinking that the armor was secretly up to something nefarious, but you're right. I think
No
that's
way,
No.
no way.
Grand
That would be such a good
Thrawn
plot
was
twist,
like,
though.
we got to rescue this guy. Let's put some Beskar here so that they blame the Mandalorians because they're fucking stupid. Then they'll fight them, and that's going to be the plot for it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then Luke returns.
Yeah.
Oh,
And somehow Skywalker returns.
Returns.
Nathan, what did you give it out of 10?
Actually, I think Elvin, because you and Justin were so opposed on it, I think you should go next. I want to hear. I want to hear.
Justin, what was your score
difference
again?
8.
I'm going to give this a 6.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, I want to give it a little bit lower, but I think 6 is good.
Really?
Yeah,
With all the fight scenes, we got the
fight
Mandalorian
scenes are all right.
squad.
There were some elements to that whole scene that was cool, but then there's some elements were stupid. Like for an elite group, they're not elite. They're not, and Bo-Katan's proven it already. These guys are random Cub Scouts right now at best.
This was my
Lower
favorite
level-
episode of
lower
this
level
Oh, I know
Cub
Cub
Scouts.
Scouts. I know Cub
Lower
Scouts.
level Cub Scouts.
I'd say the regular Scouts are more
Yeah, there you go.
on
So
par.
that's what their level's at. They're not really that great.
Yeah, this was my favorite
Um,
episode of this season.
Really?
Wow.
Okay.
That is surprising.
That's not my.
I'm not saying
This is my
like,
least favorite episode.
Well, what episode was better?
When she pulled him out of the water with the best.
That was cool, but the
that
rest
was-
of that episode was kind of slow.
No,
a
but
massive
the rest
change.
of the episode was the first time we've seen the New Republic from like a civilian standpoint. And
It was
such an
cool,
interesting-
absolutely.
Yeah.
But
And it
like
had
all the
two of the
trailers
coolest
were
fight
like,
scenes. It had
two of
the
the
best
coolest
fight
fight
scenes
scenes?
so far. Yeah, the space scene. She pulls him out of the water, and they have to leave to get to the Mandalorian enclave. But to get there, they have to go back to pick up Mando's ship. And on the way to the planet,
she
there's
does
a bunch
the
of Imperial
J
ships.
turn.
Yeah.
That was such a good fight.
That
one of the
was
best
better than the fight
scenes.
scene. The fight scene, the space or the ship fight scenes were cool. Well, yeah, they didn't blow my mind. But again, by all the trailers, the thing that I was most excited to see was a bunch of just a Mandalorian fighter troop fuck shit up.
Yeah.
And I feel like I got that in this episode.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Nathan, what would you give it?
I'm gonna give this a 6.5. I didn't really like it. I think that it had a lot of potential. The fight scenes were okay. They weren't fantastic. I actually thought that this whole episode was a bit too cheesy for me. And that includes, I'm sorry, Justin, but that includes the speech.
That's okay.
To me, the speech was just, as soon as he started talking, or before he even started talking, when he was like, I want to speak, I'm like, yeah, okay, you're going to make it sound like you're against us, and then you're going to be like, but I'm actually for it. Yeah.
I did not expect that.
100%.
I assumed,
like
I thought I was going to be annoyed at it. I thought he was going to fight against it. And then
no. I knew I was on the same page as Nathan. I knew he was on board. It's going to be
because like the last episode, they just saved his kid. Are you really going to be that much of a dick?
Star Wars never ever
pays
attention to the last thing that they did in the last episode.
But he did show that he appreciated him. He did show that he appreciated what Din did. So it's like, and Bo-Katan. So it's like, I think he. Yeah,
it's an automatopoeia. Din.
But I did think, he's going to make it sound like he's against to build up tension, and then he's going to be like, but actually, I love them. He's like my second kid. And then the fights were okay. They weren't great in my opinion. I found it very cheesy when all of a sudden, the big boy's here with the Gatling gun, and he's here to save all the other Mandalorians. I was like, yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. You know what really bothered me the most about this ground scene is? Our boy Din wasn't even involved.
Well, he's
arguably the best fighter among all of these Mandalorians.
That's why he took down like 7 ships.
Is better.
No, I think Bo-Katan might be.
Bo-Katan is like she's trained Mandalorian, like actually from Mandalore, from birth. She experienced.
Did you not see him fight Ahsoka?
No.
But she has been training how to fight Jedi her whole life.
Bo-Katan
has fought Jedi.
Mandalorians,
but
Mandalorians used to be Jedi killers.
She fought Darth Maul.
Yeah, she fought a
Jedi.
Not
a Jedi, it's a Sith.
Pretty strong.
Same thing.
So not only has
Ahsoka, I'm saying but you guys are making it sound like Din is way below Bo-Katan.
No. He's pretty good, but I think
he can keep up with it easy.
I think
because he uses other things in his repertoire.
Yeah,
but he fought all 3 of them, right? Didn't he?
He's just a bounty hunter, assassin. She has been.
You just thought of like he's nobody, just a bounty hunter. You need to be qualified and skilled to be a bounty hunter.
But
you can't be just some random dude coming out and being a bounty hunter.
No,
think of it like this, Alvin.
He's still CIA, but I'm saying that she's John Wick.
No. You guys are giving way too much praise for her.
Who do you think is better, Boba Fett? And I'm talking about like Boba Fett when you see him in The Mandalorian, not Boba Fett.
Whoever you say is going to be better than Boba Fett.
No, Boba Fett
is better than Boba Fett
in his prime. Boba Fett in his prime, especially when you see Boba Fett in The Mandalorian, can easily beat both of them. However, easily beat The Mandalorian. However, his training while different, because he was raised by a man who wasn't actually like, I don't think he's actually Jango Fett was really
Proper
he's descended
Mandalorian.
from Mandalorians. Yeah, he's descended
Yes.
from Mandalorians, from important Mandalorians, but he's
Mhm.
kind of fallen from that way of life.
Yeah.
I
He's
But
just
the
a man
training,
trying to make his way in the universe.
yeah,
I'm
his
isolating all the
training
fight
is
scenes that he
similar to
had throughout
Bo-Katan.
his 2 seasons. I'm isolating the tech that he had over the last season and a half. They've been stripping away a lot of tech from this guy. They're stripping away a lot of
Who?
fight scenes from this
Mandalorian
guy.
or-
Remember the
or
beginning
Boba Fett?
when this guy was taking out multiple people in a room,
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
and then
who? Sorry, Boba Fett
Din,
or
Din,
Din? Okay,
right? I'm just like, what happened to all that? What happened to the? He was the John Wick.
Yeah.
John Wick goes in a room and takes out 6 guys.
Well,
he
it
was
takes out
doing
6
that.
stormtroopers.
Yeah, right. John Wick.
well, there's also
takes out
like that
guys, he
butcher
takes out-
shop place.
But he
Yeah.
had all
So-
that tech. He had all that smartness. Then he goes and fights Ahsoka, who is no slouch, by the way.
No,
She's probably
absolutely
up there as one of the best Jedi fighters. And they went toe to toe, and he stood on his own. What do
I
you
think
mean?
if Ahsoka really wanted, I think if Ahsoka really wanted to kill him, she could have. But he wasn't. She. I think
I'm
she's
not
more
talking
interested,
about,
this is a
like,
Mandalorian.
No,
I-
no,
Can
no.
I
she
just
could- if she
say,
really
I
wanted to,
love that we're
force-
fighting about who can beat who in
Which is what
Star
the whole
Wars
part-
TV show.
That's the cool part. We're nerding out, right?
Yeah.
We're nerding out, and I love it. I just think that they are cutting away
I think
from.
Darth Vader could kill them all.
I
Well,
will
yes.
accept that any day of the
Well,
week.
Yeah, Darth Vader
But
could
I
kill,
just
like,
think that
nearly everyone.
he's one of the coolest guys. Wouldn't it have been
Yes.
awesome to see him on the ground with his rest of his Mando team,
It
just
would've been.
going and just shooting people? Where's happened to blowtorching? He used to do that on every
Oh, yeah,
episode.
we didn't see
Yeah,
a
he
single
did- he used
blowtorch
to.
in
He used
this
to do that
episode.
every episode in season
This
1.
season. Do
And
you know
we
what
got
I
none of it.
want to see? I'm fine with him not being in this battle, but I want to see like a covert ops nighttime mission with him and a bunch of Mandalorians just at night.
Yeah.
I thought
Stealth-
he was gonna go
stealth
on the
ops.
ground
Yeah.
with them and start kicking some ass, because I wanted to see that. I want to see Mando and his boys, or Din and his boys, going out there and doing, because remember, the mayor.
I want to
What's
see
what is
Mando
this
and
guy's
his lens.
what's his
No,
Grief
this is
Karga.
never mind.
he asked him to run the town, be my security,
Yep.
right? And that scene where those pirates are bothering him, and Din is just leaning against the tree, going,
Is there a problem, magistrate?
"I want to see that dude, man." And we didn't get to see that. Instead, we got Bo-Katan and her blue steel look. Like, it's just like, oh my god, seriously, 3 episodes. I know she's cool. I'm not taking anything away from her. I don't need to see the entire story about her. And I'm glad she's moving on now, and maybe we can focus on Din being a badass. I want to see him be a
For
badass.
2 more episodes.
I don't want to see him in the spaceship all day long.
Wait, there's
Come
2
on.
more episodes in this season?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 6 in total. Only 2 more.
No,
We're
7.
past the halfway point. Is it 7?
It's episode 5 already.
Is it really? I thought it was 4.
No, episode 5.
Oh, okay. You're right. Still 2 more. Way past the
2
midpoint of the
episodes.
season then.
Woof.
But
Wait, there's. Hold on.
7 or 8.
I think there's 8 because I think last episode we said
Okay,
we're at
good.
the halfway point.
Okay.
Okay, good. That's better.
What do you think is happening right now? What's gonna? And then we
Yeah,
got 3
8
episodes. We got 3 more episodes to wrap it up. What's the next 3 episodes going to be about?
Well,
Is
I
she
don't
going to
know.
rally?
Mandalore.
Is she going to rally her group and a couple of other groups to come save the day?
I think I'm guessing that a Two Towers Lord of the Rings moment is going to happen, where the New Republic is going to find, or some bad guy is going to find the Mandalorians, blame them for attacking Moff Gideon, or something like that. They're gonna fight them, and then Bo-Katan's new Mandalorians from across the galaxy are gonna show up at the last minute and save them.
I kind of hate the story setups that have been placed. I don't like how predictable there's Beskar armor there. They who took Moff Gideon. So now we know, and
And I think
it's not-
Nathan has been right in his prediction so far. Remember, we
Yeah.
all predicted of what we thought season 1 or 2 was going to be better, and right now Nathan is blowing the lead, like just destroying us.
Yep.
In this, because it is not what I expected. Like I said, I've already told you guys what I want from this show. I want to see the main guy and Grogu on an adventure kicking ass, because I saw that in season 1, where the two of them are the focal point of the show. Grogu was barely even mentioned in this episode.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't even mention him once in this breakdown.
No.
That's a
Yeah,
problem.
we did when I talked about the campfire scene.
And when I mentioned that he wasn't in it enough.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I was on a break then. But the one of the main characters from season 1 was barely existent in this episode. That's a problem. I don't know about you guys, but I that's a problem in my opinion. We went from a dad and son adventure to
Buddy cop movie.
who's going to take the helmet off first,
Yeah.
right? Like
yeah.
it just, I don't know. Like, I would have just loved to have. Here's what I would have loved to have. I would have loved to have Bo-Katan get back into the crew here and then shoot her off in her own show. Give her the space she needs. Give her the ability, and then bring them all into a final finale crossover. Right? Like, you know how
they introduced the
Avengers
First Order
game.
Yeah, or whatever. Like, they could have easily done that. Shoot her off into it.
She's already had her own show. She's already had like half a season of the Clone Wars.
But that's not really her own show.
That's just a storyline.
Yeah.
It's not our own show, though. It's not Bo-Katan and Adventures.
I don't think
that we have honestly,
right now.
I don't
Live action.
think. No, it's the same actress, Katie Sackhoff.
No, she's not. Yeah, but it's not live action. I mean,
sure,
but
I don't think there's enough story to do, or enough pull to do a full Bo-Katan live action TV show.
I don't know. If you guys are saying how badass she is, then you can make a good story.
Yeah, she's
Why
badass.
can't she not go on adventures and fight monsters?
That's why she's taking such a big focus on this. I think maybe after this season they might.
It's too much of a
do more Mandalorian stuff of like, here's the Mandalorians coming to power after they do like an episode of them, getting the band back together, and then you introduce a new threat, and then you go, okay, well, here's the side story of her getting all these Mandalorians together and their adventures there.
I don't know. I honestly, I just feel like what the magic was in season 1 is not here right now.
Yeah.
I don't argue.
I don't know. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we were so in anticipation in every episode of season 1, right?
Honestly, if they just bring back Moff Gideon and they make him the main bad guy, I'm going to be very disappointed in the season.
Yeah, 100% on that. If that's the grand finale, that he escaped and here I am.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, okay, fucking cool.
This is like
somehow Moff Gideon has returned.
Yeah, somehow Moff Gideon returns. I'll be like, all right, fuck off.
Yeah, no, I don't want to see that at all. What I would like to see is him say, "Here I am," and then, you mean here we are from the shadows?
We are.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Right, and then Moff kneels down. Right, like that's what I want to see.
And then that leads into Ahsoka. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
and maybe Katie will fight Ahsoka.
Sure,
I'd be down for that.
Yeah,
and Ahsoka better win.
Yeah, in some mud or
Jedi,
or whatever.
In Star Wars. Period.
One of the best Jedi. Yeah.
Yeah. And the whales. Where were the whales this time around when they went to the hyperspace?
Well, they didn't focus on it.
They're all gone.
What? What did he say? What did you say?
He said the Japanese hunted them.
Oh my god. the words that Nathan has expressed, we do not condone.
Wait, do you mean the where
That
the
is
Trade
his own
Federation from?
words, and it does not represent the
Wait,
company itself.
You didn't specify like space whales or you
No,
just said
no, I'm
whales.
You just said
so I
whales.
assumed-
Yeah,
We're
that's on
not going to
you, Alvin.
specify anything.
No, I love Japan. I love their
Oh.
spirit.
Oh God.
I want to clip that and put that on the internet, but
We
Careful.
should clip that.
yeah,
And then get
probably
bombed.
probably a bad idea. But that was a good joke.
Next
That was a good
episode.
joke.
Sorry, Nathan can't show. He can't make it today.
Yeah, Nathan's working
Due to
tonight.
legal reasons, Nathan can't appear right now.
Yeah,
Someone threw a brick through his window.
his bar got firebombed.
The IRA is back at it again.
Someone put a bunch of origami in his window.
Oh,
Actually, I'd
Heavy
like
Rain
that.
is such a good game.
What?
Heavy Rain, the Origami Killer.
Oh no, I've not watched that. Played that game.
Oh, it's good.
Back. Okay, let's. We gave our scores. Was it 8, 6, and 6.5? Right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too far off. I mean, we've had way more. We've had different scores that are more widespread than this one.
Sure.
So it wasn't too far.
It was still a pretty okay episode.
Yeah, I mean,
by the average,
it wasn't a failure or anything like that.
No,
right? It still had moments, right? But I don't know. Like, this is the flagship. This is what brings the sales to Disney, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if this is not as top level as it should be, this is a big problem for Disney. And let's bleed over to the Cantina bar here, where they are just laying off people like nobody's business right now. Every day I go on social media, I see another higher up person getting relieved. Like today, one of the Marvel board members of Marvel in Disney got let go. One of the higher ups, right? Just got let go. They're letting go thousands of people in studios.
well, that's across the board, not just Disney.
Yeah, well, it's Disney as a company, right?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. That's Disney and a lot of production studios across the board, not just the Star Wars division.
Yeah, Disney as a whole, I'm saying. And that's not good, man. When you're laying off people, that means your company's not doing well. You don't lay off people because your company's doing great, right? And what does that mean, though? Like, what does that mean for future shows like Star Wars? Like, it takes a lot of people to make this show.
Oh, I found a good high res version of Gorian Shand, the Pirate King.
Oh God, let's see it. Oh, I knew it.
I'm old Greg.
Oh God, I'm gonna have nightmares.
I'm not gonna deny it. It looks exactly like him.
It looks like old Greg.
Speaking of high res, this is something off topic. Me and Justin, we covered The Last of Us. Justin, do you remember we were talking about the giraffe?
Yeah, they were real.
They were real.
Yeah,
They were not CGI. We were
yeah.
dead set on the CGI, and you were like,
Well, I
"Holy
just
shit!"
assumed.
Yeah,
that
me
they-
too. Like, apparently they're from Calgary Zoo. the
It would
giraffes.
make sense.
They trot them all the way up to Edmonton.
They're post-pandemic. The zoo's not making any fucking money because they couldn't allow people in the zoo. So they were just like, "You want to pay us $20 to borrow our
Joey the
Or
giraffe,
giraffes?
right?
Okay, sure, fuck it.
Yeah.
Give them some peanuts. I don't care."
So they were real giraffes.
That's why they look so good.
so cool. Yeah. But
So yeah, take that CGI team. You didn't do it.
we take all our credit back.
Yeah,
You get no soup for you.
no soup for you.
Back of the line. Yeah, no, I
All right, we're
It's going-
Cantina bar now.
to Iger, the news about Kathleen Kennedy and the feud with Jon Favreau. Dave
Yeah, tell
Filoni has jumped in as well now, and he's on side with Favreau, and they're fuming because she's not stopping.
Wow.
She's still pushing for her meddling in the Mandalorian. And I'm gonna say it, she's very woke. That's
Yeah.
who she is. Right? She wants a lot of female inclusiveness and diversity, and nothing wrong with that. But she's trying to change storylines just to insert that in there,
Yeah.
and that's a problem.
Forcing any story into an already established story is bad.
Yeah,
Period.
Mhm.
and
It doesn't matter if it's coming from the left or the right. It's bad.
Yeah.
If you already have an established story and then you go, okay, but can we change it to this? And it'd be like, no. Well, can we? No.
and it's the same thing that today I also heard about Coogler, who did the Black Panther movies. He has announced that he's going to do a diverse X-Files TV show. I found that weird that he would label it diverse X-Files TV. Just say
You already have a
X-Files.
man and woman.
Just say X-Files TV show. Why do you have to put the diverse line in there?
David Duchovny did the Red Shoe Diaries. He's already like into not slut shaming. It's fine.
Look, here's the thing. You go
That's a deep cut.
you go
no one.
you go and cast people, and you bring the best people in there, regardless. You can have balance. You can have all of that because you're in charge of casting. You're in charge of hiring.
Sure.
You don't need to put the line there. We're going to have a diverse X-Files TV show. Why?
They already have aliens. They're not from this planet. How diverse can you get? They're not from Earth.
The other thing I asked one of my friends today is, has Hollywood ever done auditions and casting outside of Hollywood? Have they ever gone to like Asia and said, we're going to hold casting and auditions in Asia?
Yeah.
Do you mean outside of like Hollywood, as in like the culture, like the actors and all that, or do you mean
No, you know, like when they have
outside of the
casting
US?
like you know how they have casting calls, they bring people into the casting area, and
Well, like
most
Harrison
of
Ford.
it's always in LA, isn't it?
No.
Yep, but
It's not?
Harrison Ford, it could be across the country, but Harrison Ford, he was a carpenter, and they got him to do a couple lines because they
But
liked
where?
the look of
Where
him,
did
they
it
thought he was
get-
funny.
What do you mean a couple
He was
lines?
a carpenter.
Oh,
Well, he was hired because he made jacuzzis that had compartments that you could hide drugs in it. And that's how he got hired, because he made jacuzzis for a couple Hollywood people. So they knew his name.
Get it? Get it? That's dope. But no, what I'm saying is, have they done actual casting
Yes.
outside of Hollywood?
Yes.
Okay, because I was just thinking, like, why don't they just go to other parts of the world and cast and see if they can find talent there?
They do. So this is kind of inside baseball, but there's going to be casting directors and there's going to be agents. Most of them live and work in LA or that area, or New York or another epicenter, but they will represent people from all over the world. And
But do they go to those parts of the world?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
they'll have
wait.
scouts. They'll have talent
Elvin,
scouts.
I think the issue is not so much where people are from. I think, regardless of where they're from, I think it's the culture of Hollywood changes them and their attitudes, and that's why we see a lot of this. I don't want to comment on the politics of it, but that's why we see this kind of ideology, this Hollywood ideology, is so prevalent, even in people that aren't from LA or New York, because they get wrapped up into it. And occasionally you'll find people that just rebel against that, like Bill Burr, and they're successful.
I wouldn't say he rebels against.
I think okay, maybe not rebel, but he does mock it.
Absolutely, but I think, and again, it took me literally it took me until he was in The Mandalorian to take him seriously, because I thought he was just some other old white guy yelling about the younger generation. Like, there's what's the one guy who has a TV show?
C.K. Lewis?
No. There's a guy who has a TV show. It's like a he's a comedian, and
That's curly hair?
no, he
Seth Rogen.
no. Gray hair and a very monotone voice.
Ben Stiller.
No. Anyway,
Adam Sandler.
no. Anyway, there's a lot of people who rebel against it or speak bad about wokeism and all that, and I am 100% against wokeism because, again, as I've said many times, there are problems when you go to an extreme of either side. And Bill Burr's stance on it and how he goes about it is such a, it's not a combative, and it's not, there's the saying, you never punch down, right? And a lot of the people who speak out against the radical left or anything like that, they're always punching down, and they always don't know where to point their anger at, and they always make a worse case of something. So they'll be like, oh, the people are saying you can't say this and you can't make jokes about this, you can't do this. Well, I guess we're in Nazi Germany now. And it's like, okay, well, that's also the vocal minority. The people who are getting mad about this, like, sure, like 1,000 people on Twitter are getting mad about it. Nobody actually cares. You can still find a million examples of comedians or actors or writers who are talking about these topics and doing it in the right way and making fun of it in the right way, but they're doing it respectfully. And it's always that level of competence and knowledge that you need to have to make fun of something. You can't just ignorantly go in and make fun of something or ridicule something. You have to know about it. And this goes to both sides, right and left. And I think I brought him up before, but like there's a comedian, Andrew Schultz, who does a lot of cultural and racial comedy, and it's fucking amazing because he knows about the culture that he's making fun of, and he knows about the people or these waving or these cultures or like these countries or whatever. And it's not just a generalization, it's because he knows these people, he's friends with these people, and he's not ignorant about that. And there's the right way to make fun of anything, because comedy or commentary is or satire is just an evaluation of something that is happening in the zeitgeist of the world we live in. And if you're making fun of politicians or a religion or a group of people, you can't just go in and just do the headline thing. There's comedy that can be brought up in anything. And anyway, it's so my original point, Bill Burr, he just gets mad at people getting mad. And that's his main thing. It's just when people get mad, he makes fun of the people who get mad. And it took me, because before I thought, yeah, he was just one of those people who just gets mad at for no reason. And then I tried listening to a bunch of his podcasts, and I can't. I love him, but I love him and I respect him so much for diligently doing his podcast, because it's literally just him sitting in a hotel room bitching about stuff for 2 hours. And I'll listen to clips. I'll find like the best of his podcasts, but him just bitching about something for 30 minutes, then doing an ad
it gets
read,
tiring.
then bitching about like him bitching about something and then talking about mattresses for 5 minutes and then bitching about something else. It's like, all right, I can't do it.
Yeah, but going back to where we kind of started about the Star Wars thing with Kathleen Kennedy and stuff. Why hasn't the axe dropped on her yet?
Money.
Maybe some members of the board are hesitant.
Maybe she's got something on somebody.
Probably. It's fucking Disney. There's some skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
You know what? I think it's more likely if they fire her, there'll be a drop in share price. Plus, I know we all hate all the woke stuff that happens.
Sorry, drop in what?
That does
share price.
In share, yeah, and the
share prices have dropped all-time low already.
Yeah, but it will them. As Nathan was about to say, like the woke left is bad, but the second that they go, hey, we're gonna fire this woman, they're just like, we're already in the deep end. We don't want to make it worse. So let's try and work with her.
I don't know. They've already fired enough men.
Yeah, but nobody gives a shit about white men who've lost their jobs. It's 2023. And
I
again,
think
Disney does not have the best track record. So sorry, I just got here. What are we talking? Who are we talking about?
oh man, that's so good.
We're talking about
Uh,
Disney
Heart.
and
This
Kathleen
is the first
Kennedy.
time I'm seeing this name.
Yeah.
You
Hey,
know,
Hart said, what up?
welcome. We are in the Cantina bar hour here, where we did talk about in the beginning the Bad Batch, and then we followed it up with the review of the Mandalorian episode 5, and now we're just kind of chatting about Hollywood and what's going on in Star Wars and Hollywood in general. Just having a
Disney.
chat here. It's the Cantina bar hour, so pretty much whatever we kind of trail into. Um. Okay, sweet. And you can maybe mention some things that would like to get our opinions on in terms of Hollywood. Um, yeah, no, I don't know, man. Speaking of John Wick, you guys are talking about this, so I did watch the movie. It is a good movie. I recommend watching it in
I'm
theaters.
gonna go pee.
Okay, you do that.
Nathan, you should.
Nathan wasn't even aware.
Did he? No, I know he left. I'm trying to fix something that I messed up earlier on the side right here. But I love how he's like, Nathan, you should and then he mutes himself before he could
Yeah,
finish.
I do recommend John Wick. I think it's a good movie. I think, in my opinion, it was a little too long. Like I said,
How long? Sorry, was it just over 2 hours? 3 hours?
3 hours.
Oh,
It was too long, man.
Avatar already messed that up, and
Yeah, there was some middle scenes that I was just sitting there and going, "Can we just get rid of this? It's total nonsense, total nonsense to have this scene in there." And but what's even worse than this is, I know you're trying to light a candle.
yeah, I am. I
What?
started pulling the wax off, and I can't
Oh,
get it relit. I think I broke it.
uh, since I'm assuming, let's see, you all talk about comics. What are your thoughts on the '97 Spawn movie? Some people don't like it, but I love it. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm not a huge Spawn guy, but I'm a huge fan of Todd McFarlane because he has done such a great job of
Well,
building. What's that?
you're half a huge fan.
No,
You
no,
don't like some of
no,
his
no, no.
projects.
I don't like
His
okay
figures.
his figures so
Yeah.
much. I used to like his figures back in the day. I used to have a lot of his figures. They were more statuesque back in the day than now. Now they're just horrendous. But um, I like him as a person because he built his company from the ground up with nobody's help. He dug in, went to work as an artist for Marvel, got fired from there because he wanted to do different things with Spider-Man. Said, "Okay, you guys don't want that. I'm going to create my
He
own
wanted to
character."
put Satan and boobs into his stuff, and they were like, "No," and he was like, "Don't worry, I got this."
He created Spawn, who I think it's a mix between Batman and Spider-Man, and he
Sure.
created Spawn, but he built his own company up from the ground up. Man, you got to respect somebody like that. Like, he's making figures. He's living the dream. He's living
yeah.
what he loves. He's drawing comics and making action figures.
Well,
That's what he
also too,
loves.
like I don't think he probably, because as you said, like his original figures and stuff were more statuesque and more just display pieces, and now I'm sure the move to make them articulatable and more like action figures was probably a marketing thing of just
and
like
I think he's struggling with it, but I
more
think
people will buy them if you can make
yeah,
them action figures because that's
because
more sellable.
because he said it even while he's making these figures. He said it like, "I want my figures to look more statue than our action figure."
Yeah,
But I think his team is
which is
saying
why
to
they're so
him,
fucking hard to pose.
and I think his team is saying, "No, you can't do that anymore." So there's
Yeah.
this ongoing battle right now between him and his team. But the question he was asking here is, did you like the '97 Spawn movie? I thought it was all right. For its time, I think it was good. The CGI is dated, obviously, but for its time, it was a decent movie. Superhero movies weren't that big at that time. I believe Batman and
That
what
had
was?
John Leguizamo, Martin Sheen.
Mhm.
Who else was in that?
At that time, superhero movies weren't a big thing.
97? Fuck no.
TV shows were. I think the one with Terry Hatcher and Dean, the Superboy, or Lois and Superman.
Hmm.
I think that show was going on in the early 90s. Smallville, I think, was starting up.
No, Smallville was 2000s.
Oh, was it 2000?
Mid 2000s, yeah. Smallville was 2001.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's saying, maybe I'm biased, but I'm a huge Michael J. White fan.
He was the guy who played Spawn. Yeah.
Okay. Has he done anything else? Because I haven't seen him in anything else.
Fuck
Sorry.
yeah. He was let me see. He's done a ton. He was let's see.
Blood and Bone, Never Back Down, Never Back Down.
Black
2,
Dynamite.
Undisputed 2, Falcon Rising, Black Dynamite.
He was Gamble in The Dark Knight.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's done a shitload of stuff. He was in Arrow. He was Bronze Tiger. Nobody
It's not
watched
like
Arrow.
big stuff.
He's that guy you see and you're like, oh yeah, that guy.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
What was his biggest? Fuck, I recognize him from. Yes, Dio, I know. I'm right here. You are okay.
Mortal Kombat, Rebirth.
Nobody gives a shit about that movie.
Yeah, I know. Kill Bill. That's pretty.
Blood and
big.
Bones,
Kill
yeah,
Bill.
Blood and Bones was fucking rad. Justice League, he played Green Lantern in the video game.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit, he was in Static Shock. That show was awesome.
I never heard of that show.
Static Shock? It was a cartoon in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
It was rad.
Heartsteed, do you only go on Twitch or do you go on YouTube as well? If you do go on YouTube, hit the subscribe button there for us.
We give away
Because
prizes.
yeah, we give away
Every
prizes on our YouTube channel every month. So
We should
yeah,
probably
go-
start rewarding our Twitch people.
I'm actually I was gonna announce something next week, but I might as well announce it now because nobody's watching us.
Hey, fuck you. Heartstead's watching us.
Besides Hearts and Darth. So I got a hold of a Todd McFarlane 1/12 scale Tim Burton Batmobile.
Oh shit.
So I got 2 of them, and I only need 1 of them. So guess what's happening with the other one? We're gonna give it away.
Oh,
We're gonna give it away only on. You have to be watching Popcorn Chicken. In one of the episodes, I won't tell you when, but we're gonna give it away to somebody who's watching and listening with us. And that's it. The dog jacket.
So Popcorn Chicken, we do it Wednesdays, 9:45 p.m. And when
that's
HBO
gonna
puts
be-
out something good, Sundays at some time.
So when
That's going to be one of the biggest
Mandalorian,
giveaways you've done.
literally,
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, it is. So we're gonna give that away. So yeah, you can win. We'll ship it out. I actually have the store have it on hold for us. So toysnowman.com, a friend of the show, I bought it.
Your money.
I bought it. So full disclosure, not sponsored, not given as a free. I paid for it, and I'm gonna pay it to ship it out. So I've already paid for it, and they're putting it on hold for me until I announce the winner, and then I will send the address to them, and then we'll ship it directly.
Nathan and I are laughing at the same thing. I can answer this. Fuck no.
What, Alvin? If it ain't too personal, most expensive figure you
Oh, I
own.
thought you were asking if the Batmobile was, but he's asking what your most expensive figure you own is. That's a good question, actually.
I do. It is $1,000. It is the Voltron.
Voltron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the
makes
most
sense.
expensive figure.
You can see a review of it on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
We did a comparison of the
People
number.
messaging about it. That you know that a couple of weeks ago,
Really?
somebody messaged about that video. They're
What
like,
did they say?
they're like, it's not $1,000. I only paid $700 for
It's
it.
just like, yeah, it's 1,000 Canadian.
Yeah.
We're Canadian. Fuck
I didn't
off.
even bother. I'm like, I didn't even bother. Like, did you even watch the video?
Where we say it 1,000,000 times.
But yeah, $1,000 is probably the most expensive figure I have in my
And
collection.
it's how big?
I want to say 16 inches tall.
What's that in metric?
Pissed off.
In metric, 16 inches is 32 point. No,
But stay tuned.
it's over 32.
The most impressive thing that we have is our city diorama that's getting built here. This weekend we're gonna have it finished because we
406 millimeters.
This weekend we're gonna get it finished because we actually have a platform that's big enough to hold it. Because an IKEA giant table couldn't hold it. So yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
We don't drink milk from a bag. That's
an
an East
East
Coast,
Coast
and
thing,
we don't
yeah.
talk about them. Okay, they're in the dark ages. We're
from Vancouver, Canada.
We've embraced technology. We understand what plastic is and how to destroy. Well, a hardened version of plastic where we can make it into geometrical shapes. So
Yeah, we're advanced.
Did you
We've
know
just
that
gotten
Joe
shows
Biden-
like Baywatch, Knight Rider, those great hits just reached our TVs. We're up to
Joe
date.
Biden got a standing ovation when he came to Canada because he made fun of the Maple Leafs.
Yeah,
He was
screw
like,
him. I want Trump back.
They're all shit. They're all shit. But he made a speech in Canada and he was like, I love hockey. I love all the teams except for the Maple Leafs. And he got a standing ovation.
Everyone hates the Leafs.
Hey,
Everyone hates
watch
the
it.
Leafs.
I'm a big Leafs fan.
Are you
I don't
really?
give a thundering fuck
Yeah, I am.
about
I
football.
am. Since I was a kid.
I'm
It's
so
sad.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shut
see,
Are they bad?
Oh, they can't
I
be any
don't
worse
know.
than the Canucks.
the Canucks are
They're both-
Whatever. They
they're
both
both-
start riots.
They both have.
Nobody
By
cares.
the way, they're doing a documentary on
multiple.
HBO is doing a
Yeah, we did.
documentary on the riot.
Really?
Which one?
The Boston
most recent
Where they
No,
lost
that's
to
serious.
Boston.
Serious question.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
lo-
Which
they
one?
Oh,
lost to
the
Boston
most
in the
recent one,
final.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was another one before.
There was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 94 one, right?
I was
Yeah.
living in Gibson's when the riots happened in Vancouver, the most recent one. I was in a pub called the Blackfish. They've changed their name now because of wokeism. Now it's the Fish of Color. But
Is it? No, I believe that for a second.
no, it's
Hardstead, to answer your question, actually, Canada's comic scene and figure scenes are really good here because Hasbro's North American base warehouse is in Canada. It comes from overseas to Canada first and then ships out to US. So a lot of times when you're looking at like Marvel Legends figures, they come in Canada first. Then it goes to the US. I believe somewhere in Montreal is the warehouse. And we have a lot of
so they have
stores.
to deal with the French.
We have a lot of stores. We have a lot of online stores that are doing very well. And also Hasbro itself, their website, they sell to both Canada and the US. So getting figures and comic books is not an issue at all here. A lot of people that in the collector community are sometimes envious of Canadians because they get some of the figures ahead of the US counterparts. So especially
And also
the only
usually
thing we ever
cheaper
get before
because
the
they don't-
Americans.
Yeah, and usually cheaper because they don't have to pay as much tariff.
Mhm.
I went to so there was this comic shop that used to be by a place I used to live in East Van, and
What's the name of it?
I'm
Tasmania Comics?
no,
no.
it is. Hold on, let me get out Google Maps.
Comic scene?
No, it is.
Is it
okay,
still there?
It is. I went there last week. It is a hole in the wall, tiny shop that I kept driving past when I used to live there in that area. And I would always see it. I'd be like, fuck, I want to go in there because it looks like a piece of shit. Like it's the sign that's outside. It's been there since the 90s. It's sun bleached. Like they haven't updated it. It's in like kind of a rundown, not rundown.
Comic Land?
Hold on. It's just figures. Actually, no, that's not true. There's okay, but so you know those bookstores that you go to in small towns or in like not well populated areas, and it's just some like crazy guy who just bought a fuckload of books and they're just stacked. Like you just go in and it's
Very
a maze,
unorganized.
very unorganized, but he knows where everything is. And
It's Comic Land. Asian dude.
No,
No?
it's not Comic Land. Not Comic Land.
Okay.
I think it's one that you don't know of.
Huh.
And
Challenge me.
It's
I
a
like a good
secret
challenge.
comic place.
I like
It
a good
is.
challenge.
And it's just like books just stacked on top of books. There's very little shelves. You go in there and it's just a guy who loves talking about this shit. And so my girlfriend and I drove past it the other day and I was like, we need to go in there. So we went in there and it was exactly what I hoped it to be. And it was just figure boxes stacked. And it was like we went in there. There was one other group that was in there. It was this family, this husband and wife, and they're like, I don't know, 6 or 9 or I don't know, child. The I don't know what age of kids are. The age where they run around and they say hi to everything and they go bah, but they can walk and it I don't know, under 10. Anyway, so we go in there and to get to the other side of the aisle, you had to wait for the other people to go into another aisle because
awesome.
you couldn't walk past them. So you had to be like, hey, we need to get to that side. And they'd be like, okay, I need to go down this end of the maze. And we went in there. There was just like a spattering of every, obviously, because it's pop culture stuff. There was a million Funko Pops, and because he's a businessman, so he was like, I got a bunch of Funko Pops. And then there was a bunch of like Transformer shit. There was a bunch of Star Wars stuff. It was just like the most shotgun approach of just like, these are cool stuff. And he had a couple like display cases of things that are totally like things that he owns. Just like, God, these are cool. Here's some Batman stuff. Here's some Transformer stuff. And I need to find. Actually, wait, I can look at Google Maps and have it show me my recent history. That'll be easier. Because Skynet knows everywhere that I've been.
I do want to end it in 5 minutes here, if you don't mind, guys. It is
once I find this, we will do that. My timeline.
By the way, Hartstead. Am I saying that right? Hartstead.
Stead.
Let your friends, family, uncle, grandpa, grandma, everybody know about this show, about this channel. We want to blow it up. So please help us out there. Get some likes and subscribe. The likes button is really helpful because it's going to send out this virtual signal out to the universe to let other people know that this channel exists. So hit the like button, please. And
or dislike button. That's fine.
No, he doesn't dislike or she doesn't dislike.
No, I'm saying it's fine. Don't shame people for hitting the dislike button. That's still engagement, and it still lets us know.
I just don't encourage.
I use it on YouTube all the time on YouTube. If there's like someone's like, especially when people
are mean. I've never disliked anybody.
No. Okay, here's an example.
Even if I don't like
a lot of TikTok stuff
channel, I still don't do it.
I found it.
People upload a lot of TikTok stuff.
What's the name?
Rupert Street. Underton. Or something
It
like that,
doesn't
right?
show up.
10.
What do you mean doesn't show up?
Hold on. I'm going. It doesn't show up on Google Maps
So wait, how do you have this location but not the name?
because I can see where I drove, and it told me I went to a sushi restaurant
Oh
on
God,
Rupert,
that's
and I
actually
was
kinda
like, I
creepy.
didn't that day. So it's showing me that I went there. Hold on. Oh, it is Comic Land.
I knew it. See, I knew it. When you described that, I knew it. I told, don't challenge me in my hood.
I didn't.
This is my domain. The
No, it
minute
was a
you
white
said, but the owner is an Asian dude.
Oh, okay. There's
I
a white
went to-
dude, ginger,
Yeah,
and he
I-
was
I-
like, "I'm ordering in. I bought these. I bought." So maybe it's a co-ownership or whatever. But
I went to that store over 25 years ago. That's the first time I went to that store. Since you're ending the stream soon, let's talk about Brie Larson as. Oh God! Oh,
you've hit a sour spot.
yeah. Let's not talk about that. But they are bringing her back. What's her name?
Brie
The
Larson.
daughter of a rock star from Lord of the Rings. She was a queen, elf.
Oh.
Yeah,
Our,
what's her name? Real name?
Steven Tyler's daughter.
Yeah.
Liv Tyler.
They're bringing her back as Bruce Banner's girlfriend.
Real. I saw that Liv Tyler was going to be in a Marvel thing.
Yeah,
and I was excited for that. I was like,
so
that's cool.
She'll be Bruce Banner's girlfriend, and she's gonna start her appearance in the Marvel, Captain Marvel. So that's why they delayed it. They're shooting some scenes with her. The noise of an alcoholic. Hi. Anyways, she's gonna be in there, so that's gonna be interesting. And yeah, don't just leave it.
It's
But I knew it was comic scene. The minute you described it, I knew it was comic scene, man.
That's funny.
I knew it. Sorry, Comic Land. Sorry, not comic scene. Yeah, that store is so like no disrespect to them. They're
it's awesome. Again, like,
but it's very dusty, and I just
totally
over the years I just got annoyed because one, the owner thought I was a thief all the time when I walked in there, and it kept following me around everything. And I was like, really? Dude?
How could the fuck can he follow you through that shit?
I know, right? I was like, and then he has way too many Funko Pops, and then every time I ask him for a figure, he doesn't have it, and then every time he does have it, oh, it's not for sale. I was like, what am I doing here? I used to go there all the time, but yeah, over the course of the last decade or so, it just not worth it for me. And now with online purchasing,
yeah,
those stores are very, very lucky to survive.
I don't know how that's still open
because he does have loyal local collectors there.
Sure,
and I think
it does seem like it's very specific niches that he supplies.
It's community store. It's definitely a community store. Everyone within 5 block radius, probably.
Yeah,
right. And a lot of them buy their comic books there, so they just have.
There's a bunch of comics. Yeah. There's like one section that's just a fuckload of comics. It's a library of comics.
So what happens is people will order like 10 books and they'll just come pick it up.
Yeah.
Right. The pre-order, and that's a lot of these stores. That's how they're surviving now. Is people ordering it. But yeah, it's funny. The minute you mentioned what it looked like, I knew right away. That's crazy.
I drove past that place like 1,000 times during the pandemic, and I was like, I have to go into that shop because I like just driving past it. I was like, I've been to a million bookstores that look like this. I know what it looks like in there. I went in there. And I was
what attracted me about the store was the fact that it was open late. So I used to finish work around 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and my buddy would too. He was a collector, and we both worked together. We would go there, and he'd be open till 11 o'clock at night.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so that was the advantage of going to the store back in the day. Was it was open late.
So you could order stuff and then pick up stuff after work.
Yeah, we'd call him and say, "Hey, did you get it?" He's like, "Yeah, I do it." And my buddy was good friends with him. And so that's how I got introduced to the store. But for some reason, he never liked me. He thought I was a thief or something. But I would buy everything and more than my friend. But I would never get that same treatment. I was just like, what? Like, what am I doing here wrong? right? I'm literally spending hundreds of dollars every month at your store.
Yeah,
right?
and you kept stealing all the Funko Pops.
No, no. Quick question on a positive note: what superhero movie do you think was the most well done and true to the comics? Ooh, okay. Oh man, superhero movie. What do you guys have any?
I don't know. On
Toby
Joker?
Toby Maguire Spider Man.
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was kind of bang on.
Oh,
The very
I
first
like
one.
him.
The
I like
first
him a
one.
lot, but it's not comic accurate.
Actually, you know what? Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield's more. I think Andrew Garfield, not
Wait,
as a
hold on,
person,
time out.
not as Peter
What?
Parker, but as Spider-Man is comic book accurate.
No. What of Toby Maguire's is not accurate?
The webs
Webs.
coming out of his wrist.
Yeah,
No,
That's-
Spider Man has web coming out of his wrist.
No,
he has
he
web
made
shooters.
No.
He has web shooters.
There are different Spider Mans in different universes.
Yeah, but the standard Spider-Man from
well,
the
you can't
Earth.
say standard.
Fine,
Well,
let me
we're just saying
rephrase that.
comic
from
book-
the
okay,
Earth
which
that-
comic
that's
book run?
most shown in
Okay,
the first
aside
one.
from the webs, what else is not true?
Age.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire is a lot.
Tobey Maguire was like fucking 30 when he was in that movie.
Yeah,
He-
but
he
I
is
mean,
pretty
I think
old
he
when
did a
he-
pretty good job of playing it.
Oh
as
yeah,
a
no,
young
he
guy.
was
No, he
good.
did,
He's
he
good, but he's still. It's
Andrew
still in
Garfield
the
is
age
too
of.
handsome to be Peter Parker.
That's why I said he's
He's a
plays
good Spider-Man because he's lanky.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
My
agree.
Spider-Man
That's
has to be lanky. That's my
Yep.
Spider-Man.
He's
Sure.
a good Spider-Man.
That's why I don't like Tom Holland
I
because
love
he's a midget.
Tom Holland.
No offense, right?
He's
he's too
pretty
short.
He's a short king.
And Spider-Man's supposed to be tall, lanky, and not too tall, but you know what I mean. Like he's got to be at least 5'11", 6 feet,
Sure.
somewhere there. Tom Holland's
Yeah,
5'4", 5'5".
Whatever. They
Yeah,
made
what do you mean,
fucking-
whatever? That's like 6 inches shorter.
Yeah, well, they got TV magic. They can fucking fix
I
it.
will
Doesn't
give him
matter.
this. I will give him this. He does look
Oh.
like a kid.
He
Yeah,
does,
but
he looks
he's-
very young.
When
But
he goes
you-
to college, he's still gonna look like a
Yeah,
kid.
no, you were right.
yeah. The
But
best comic
yeah.
book rendition, Iron Man.
first one,
Yeah.
Pretty good.
yeah. The movie version of Iron Man looks better than the animated and cartoon version. of Iron Man.
Yeah, it does.
The armor looks way better,
Yeah.
which is very hard
and
to do.
I would argue sold more figures.
Captain America, the first one, was really good.
Yeah.
That was very accurate. I love Thomas
Yeah.
the Punisher, but never read the comics, so I don't know how accurate it is.
I would say it's less brutal.
They're bringing back Barenthal as Punisher.
Yep.
They're bringing him back for a Daredevil's reboot.
Yep.
So I hope we
And-
answered that question. Sorry. Iron Man and Spider-Man for me. And Captain America.
All the
as well.
mans. If you
Yeah.
have
Wow.
a verb in front of a man, that's a good one.
Ant-Man?
No.
You see, there we go.
Oh,
No. The first Ant-Man was fun.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
First Ant-Man was fun.
Yeah, Paul
Second
Rudd did a
one,
good job of making it fun.
Paul
Yeah.
Rudd was, he got like
There was zero expectations, which made it even better.
Yeah.
Nobody
I mean,
cared if it did well or
the
not.
same thing
Marvel
for
did,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
but yeah.
Nobody gave a shit about that.
Yo, that is lightning in a bottle.
Absolutely. And then
It
they fucking threw it in the ocean.
Industry. It destroyed everything around it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And two, I would argue that like Guardians of the Galaxy was a proof of concept of just like anytime that somebody would come to Marvel or Disney or whatever and be like, I want to make this movie, and then they would go, nobody knows about this. There's not a market for it. Then they could point to Guardians of
Yeah.
the Galaxy and be like, yeah, but
Yeah, we had a
Uh,
talking raccoon
with that, yeah, we had Rocket
tree.
Raccoon
and a tree.
and a tree, and
Yeah.
people love that shit.
No, you're right. Yeah,
And
Guardians of the
somehow Grogu outseated Groot as the cutest animated or cutest little
Somehow.
thing.
No, that makes
Somehow
sense.
Palpatine
He is-
returned.
Bum, 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 bum.
Grogu is cuter.
Yeah. But to the general public.
I don't know. He's got some ugly ears there.
Bitch.
No, those are his elf ears.
Uh,
Help him
The
hear
fuck are you
danger
saying
from-
about big ears? Deal. Do
Those
you
are
want-
ugly ears. Oh, look at him wearing up.
Do
Look at his
you
ears go.
want? Do you want some num nums? He's like, Dad, shut the fuck up. Feed me. Give me food. I want snacks. Do you want? Okay, I'm gonna go feed Dio.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, is Black Adam worth watching?
No.
no.
Don't even watch
Especially
it.
'cause DC's all canceled
even
now.
cable TV has it. Don't watch it.
Yeah, watch it while you fall asleep.
Thank you everybody
not good.
for watching us on the replay or live. Make sure to keep watching us live if you want to win that Batmobile from Todd McFarlane for Tim Burton's movie.
The
But
Batmobile.
the new Flash movie. It's coming out. It's gonna have the Batmobile in it. We're gonna give away the 112
And it's gonna have
size.
Ezra Miller, and he's gonna strangle a family in
Oh
Cabo.
God! Don't do that. Anyways, we're gonna give it away here. So all you gotta do is
Might.
watch us live, and
He
we'll
might.
pick a name, or Justin will spin a wheel. We'll do something, be a random day. So yeah, thanks for watching, and say bye, guys.
Bye, guys.